Stream of Wisdom. We have 4 here in Houston. The address is 231 FM. Oh, that's actually not
No,
right.
that ain't it. 1550 Ken Forest Drive, Missouri City.
New school, new location. Fridays 7 to 9 p.m. Saturdays, our Virginia school. Tuesdays, our Virginia school. Tuesdays, Thursdays, Fridays, 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
So come back watch.
Saturdays, 12 p.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Rochester, New York, with Priest Zionala. The address is 1600 Lau Ave, Suite 1A, Rochester, New York, 14606. Class times are Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays at 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Saturday, the Shabbat class, 12 p.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Then we have another Texas school in San Antonio with Priest War, Priest Shamshawan. The address over there is 4444 Walsham Road, Suite 201, San Antonio, Texas, 218. The class times for the San Antonio school is Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays from 7:30 p.m. to 10 p.m. and the Shabbat class from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m.
He be saying San Antonio so sexy.
San Antonio.
Antonio.
San Antonio.
Dad, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
C, right? So we have many ways that you're able to tap in, lock in. We have how to watch us. We have Blog Talk Radio by Mashaba at blogtalkradio.com/Mashaba, Tuesdays and Thursdays at 10 a.m. Our other channels are the Stream of Wisdom, Norfolk, Virginia, Stream of Wisdom, Rochester, New York. San Antonio School is Sword of Truth, San Antonio. We have 5 Minutes of Wisdom, the Hidden Truth Bible Show, Israelite Media Corp, that Priest Shaquat Gabar, Priest Bakar Gabar. A lot of brothers that have been putting a lot of love and spirit into all these YouTube shorts that you've been seeing coming up. Like, share, subscribe, share all these YouTube shorts that you've been seeing. Share them to your family, share them to your friends, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, all social media platforms. That's the media team. The media team is doing a lot of good work, right? So we also have kids class. Kids class will be held on Saturdays at 11 a.m. The content for the kids class will be posted on various channels. Instagram, TikTok. The Instagram is S.O.W. _children_of_light. That's for the Instagram. For TikTok, it's at S.O.W. Children of Light. Again, that's the TikTok. Now, we have a few businesses that support this ministry. One of them is Israelware, right? Israelware is accepting all orders until they start working on the Passover garments, right? So, thankfully, me privy to the fact that Passover is going to be starting soon, I placed an order for some new French pants. The Water Sisters, I got me a new shirt. Shows Creations right here. I mean, it's an S.O.W. shirt, but it's stamped, right? They got it. I got it. Place that order. Check out Fringed Up, the subscriptions. Get your Fringed t-shirt game up by subscribing to Fringed Up. Again, these subscriptions are going to be up until the sisters in all locations, Rochester, Virginia, here in Houston, until the Passover garments start being made up. So get your Fringed t-shirt game up by subscribing to Fringed Up. By Israel, we have 2 subscription options. Just the shirt is $35, right? And shirt and headband is $75. You can subscribe on the website at www.isbhpk.com/fringed up. Now, for the aspiring priests in our school locations, we got Hebrew Academy, Virginia and Rochester. The Hebrew Academy is every Monday. And here in Houston, every Tuesday. Now, if you need to get in contact with any of the priests, Priest Kazaki, Priest Parazak, Priest Zainalin, the number for Priest Kazaki is 757-300-4047. Priest Parazak is 303-557-8979. Priest Zainala, 346-234-8340. During class, please text only. But what I love about just being around my officers, my leaders, my priests, they're accessible. Do not hesitate at all to reach out to them. There's no silly questions. Hit them up, contact them. Scripture says to do good and forget not, to communicate, right? They that fear the Lord spake often one to another. So hit up, contact, reach out to the priests. So we also have another business, Sweet Ambience, Peaceful Sensations. That's where you're able to get your custom fragrance oil, 100% aceite orgánico, orgánico, right?
I'm gonna give you some oils now.
All organic, no alcohol, no chemicals, no water, custom-made fragrances that we get from Cairo, Egypt. We are they. You can find us at First Carlina Mall, Peaceful Sensations. You can find us at Lynn Haven Mall in Virginia Beach, MacArthur Mall in Norfolk, Virginia, and Greece Mall in Rochester, New York, right? We have a website, www.sweetambience.com, and or you can just look us up on Instagram, which shows all our locations for the Sweet Ambiance business at sweet_ambiance. Right, you can send a DM if you are looking for any type of fragrance. We're gonna take care of it. Last 24 hours on the body, 40 hours on the clothes, body heat activated. You know. Also, Chosen Creations, where you're able to get custom jewelry, custom woodwork, again, custom drip. You can go to Chosen Creations on Etsy at chosencreations.com. Or you're able to create your personalized engraved gifts for all your loved ones, right? Now, we don't do Thanksgiving or we don't do Christmas, but for these holiday season for us that's coming up, we got Hanukkah coming up. So if you want a custom Hanukkah woodwork, 12 tribes, you got the prayers, you got the school right here behind us. It's nice, something to put in the house. Let everybody know that whoever you invite over to the house, like, what is this? Where'd you get this at? Who made this? Chosen Creations. Now, donations, contact any of the priests if you want to send anything monetarily, if you want to send books, apocryphas, computers, desks, vehicles, Pampers, toiletries, hygiene. We're taking everything, right? We're taking everything because there are people that are in need. And the priests, the teachers are going to be able to delegate all the things that are donated to the schools. Other than that, if you want to send any type of donations, Cash App, ISBHPK donations, Zelle, again, just reach out to Priest Kazaki or Priest Squad is out.
That brother is long-winded.
Fluff them up a little bit.
No, that's a good job. And those are the announcements.
Right.
Right? And he missed a lot of stuff, like get your Passover garment in, money in, get your Passover money in for Passover, get your Passover location, right? Don't forget about the Passover. And then we about to be passing over with the Passover.
Right.
Right? And then we got Purim coming up. We got Hanukkah coming up before Passover. Come on, y'all get it. Right? How's everybody feeling? Everybody good? Everybody Tawab on this lovely Wednesday evening. The 20th of November. Nuclear weapons floating.
Dang.
Right? Bombs flying through Russia. Right? Bombs over Baghdad. Salvation nearer than you thought.
Like that hoe.
Right? So, I mean, a lot of y'all see the title of today's class, right? The weaponization of the Black and Hispanic woman, part 1. Right? Weapon / vessel of honor. So, you know how these classes go when we start to get into these classes that are directed towards sisters, right? A lot of the times, what do we do? Or what tends to come out? the not so good stuff, right? It's usually sharp rebukes. It's usually, you know, a tone that comes along with these classes. But I want to try to take a page out of Christ's book. I want to take a page out of Christ's book when he was dealing with the churches, right? He said, "Look, y'all are doing great. You're special. I love you." He acknowledged all the good that the church was doing, right? You just read that Revelations a couple of weeks ago. I had you read that for certain reasons. But when you get a chance, just, you know, you read that Revelations, how he was dealing with the church, and you know, one of the key things is go to Ephesians real quick. This is not part of the class, but this is something that we got to understand. Just as Hebrew Israelites and people that are coming back to our faith and coming back to our custom and our culture. It's something that you got to realize, and it's something that you have to really understand, is that when you got to fight hard you got to fight hard to get back in this thing. Why? Because for the whole time before you got back into the culture and the custom, the cards have been stacked against all of us one way, right? Everything's been stacked up for us to benefit our oppressors. They benefit off of our servitude. They benefit off of our minds being aligned with their minds and what they want. Even if it's not what you want, they benefit, right? Every nation has become rich and has benefited due to the Israelite lack of understanding his custom, his language, his heritage, his religion, using that word loosely, religion, because this is our religion. It's not a religion, but this is a thing that we do on a regular basis that does keep us restrained from the world. It should. It should restrain us from the worldly lust, and it should restrain the sisters from wanting to be like what they see in the world. It should restrain a brother, this heritage that we have, this knowledge that we have. It should restrain you from wanting to slide out and sell drugs to your people, cock guns on your people, stab your people, disrespect your people, right? It should restrain you in that way. So I use that word religion in that way. The word, the wisdom is a restraint from those worldly passions. But there's a scripture I want to go to real quick. I believe, what is it? We went there the other day. Christ loving the church. Ephesians 5.
Yeah.
23.
Read that real quick. Ephesians 5 what?
And 23.
23. Read that for me.
It's the book of Ephesians chapter 5 and verse 23.
Go ahead.
For the husband is the head of the wife,
Come on.
even as Christ is the head of the church.
Right. So Christ is the head of the church. Go ahead.
And he is the savior of the body.
And just like Christ is the savior of the man, right? The man is the savior of the woman, right? We're the saviors in a way of the congregation, right? I say it all the time, we're all saviors to one another. If we're approaching this thing right, I'm here to save you and you're here to save me. Go ahead.
Therefore, as the church is subject unto Christ,
Come on.
so let the wives be to their own husbands
Go ahead.
in everything.
Read on.
Husbands, love your wives,
Come on.
even as Christ also loved the church.
And that's the point I wanted to get to, that how did Christ love the church? Well, Christ loved the church with balance, right? Yeah. He rebuked and he exhorted the church. He praised them for the good and he rebuked them for the bad. So just taking that page, not that we don't exhort sisters and not that we don't lift sisters up, because it would be terrible to think that even pointing out the negatives that sisters do is not an exhortation, would be a very, very bad thought. You're always pointing out the bad. Well, if you're constantly doing it, then we got to constantly point it, right? So I kind of just want to shift a little bit in this class, and just even according to the title, a vessel or a weapon of honor, right? So let's just begin. Just in y'all's mind, what do y'all feel like it means to be a weapon of honor? Or before you even answer that, and y'all online can answer too, do y'all feel like the Black and Hispanic woman has been weaponized in a good or a bad sense? Because I do have a part two to this, right? I do have a part two to this. This is part one, right? But what do y'all think it means to be a weapon or a vessel of honor? What do y'all think that means in the sense of a wife situation? Wife, good woman, up and coming wife, Israelite sister. It don't gotta just be a woman with a husband, but just in that standpoint. What are y'all feeling like? What y'all think? Just want a little feedback. Y'all online, y'all can comment too. Come on, don't cap. I know, y'all get scary when y'all see these titles. I get a little nervous. No, hey, look, we gonna have some fun today. We just gonna talk. What y'all think? What do y'all think a woman as an honorable vessel I use the word weapon for a reason, right? Can a woman be a weapon? Like Judith, she was a weapon.
Yeah.
She was a weapon. She went in there and decapitated old boy, Holofernes, right? She was weaponized by the Most High. He weaponized her and turned her into a damn killing machine.
Yeah.
He used two things about her, right? He turned her into a weapon two ways, but in this day and age, how do you feel a woman is a weapon of honor or a vessel of honor? Any takers?
Yeah.
With that, okay, go ahead with that. Brave sister.
Who was that?
Winter soldiers. Zion Allah said winter soldiers. God, the winter soldier, like Bucky, right? Just assassinating cats. But what you think?
Like just being in the background for the husband to be able to depend on her, like handle the business if he's sick or he got to work a lot, he out of the house, just hold it down, make sure everyone stays alive. You know what I'm saying?
Right. So remember, you're saying this. So y'all are gonna say certain things, and I'm gonna say certain things. And listen, another thing we've been touching on a lot is lying, right? How we've been talking about that a lot, and really like lying to oneself and not wanting to hold up that mirror. Like we got to look at these classes and start really looking and saying, you know what? Am I fitting this bill? Am I upholding the things that I'm saying? Because what she said was very beautiful, right? But sisters have to, and brothers, when it's your time, you have to like really settle down, settle your mind, and say, wait a minute. Whatever is being said doesn't apply, right? So she said some good things: backbone, protection, right? Holding things down, hubby, making sure people don't get hurt, things like that, and it's true, right? So I want to talk about it in this way. You can write down an Israelite man's best weapon against white supremacy. What happened?
Oh, like he said, he repeated.
I stole I said it too fast?
Yeah.
Right, it was 4 words.
That was a long
Listening is an art, my friend. An Israelite man's best weapon against white supremacy. Right? An Israelite man's best weapon against white supremacy. And what that is, it's the Black and Hispanic woman in her strength. You guys ever hear the terminology, a woman in her strength and a woman in her power?
Yes.
Y'all ever heard that?
Um,
Right. So I want to talk about a woman in her strength, right? Because they're two different things, right? A woman in her power, it's not a good thing. It's not a good thing to be in power. But a woman in her strength is the epitome of a biblical woman. And I mean a righteous biblical woman, right? So go to Proverbs 31:25. And David said, yes, a woman in a bad sense. The woman, David, man, he must have been in my Word documents. That man must be in my class. Right, he said a woman take child support and government assistance over the family. Right, Bakar, the saying, you're only as strong as the weakest link. Bible says a woman are weaker. However, if and when they are spiritually strong, there is no weakness. Bruh, I couldn't have said it better myself. Because just because you're a weaker vessel doesn't mean you're just flat out weak. It just means that you're not as strong as the man you're up under. You see that? Like, if you have two men and one man is in leadership over the other, the man underneath that man will be considered a weaker vessel. That's it. He don't have the same power as the man he's subordinate to. It's just that simple. Doesn't mean that he's less of a man. Doesn't mean that she's less of a woman because she's a weaker vessel. No, she's just not as strong as a man. And that's okay. And that's what we want to deal with is that, the world pushes a mentality on sisters that, the world and feminism, white supremacy done pushed in sisters' heads. And a lot of y'all regret it now, what they did to you. And we be feeling bad because we see it and we like, damn, they just turned y'all into men. Right? They turned black women into men. They turned black women into just another man. Right? So what I want to, again, deal with is a woman in her strength. Read Proverbs 31:25.
Proverbs 31, verse 25.
Uh-huh.
Strength and honor are her clothing.
Strength and honor are her what?
Clothing.
Read verse 10.
Verse 10.
Mm-hmm.
Who can find a virtuous woman?
Go ahead.
For her price is far above rubies.
Right, you see that? So this is talking about a virtuous woman. But it says strength and honor are her clothing. So let's deal with that strength. Right? You know how I do it. Let's just pull up the word real quick. G5797. Right? What's the word? What is that? Isaiah? What is that? Isaiah? Isaiah? Eyes? Yeah, eyes.
Yeah, just eyes.
Eyes, right? So what does that word mean? Anybody got anything? Or y'all want me to? Oh, ain't nobody gonna look up enough? All I gotta do? Oh, okay. I thought we was friends, man. I thought we was getting along. Yeah. But read it real quick. You got it. Yashikar can read what I got.
So Isaiah,
Read the definition and just read the three definitions before. Go down to definition and read strength. You got it?
so where it says,
Definition.
definition is strength, might, power, refuge.
Right. Strength, might, power, refuge. Slide down to where it says usage. It's in red.
The usage.
Uh-huh. Bro, how you get down there so far? It's in red.
You want me to read it?
Yeah, read it real quick.
It says usage. It says it can also refer to a place of refuge or protection, symbolizing God's strength as a source of security for his people.
It's not up there. It says what? So it can also refer to a place of refuge. So it says strength. And what is her clothing? Read it again.
Verse 25. Strength and honor are her clothing.
So it refers to a place of refuge, symbolizing God's strength as a source of security for his people. So what is it, off the bat, what are we learning about a woman in her strength, or this weaponized woman that is a vessel for honor? What makes her a vessel for honor? Where is her strength? You got something?
I would say her, like basically she's a strong tower against defense for her husband.
We gonna get there, but just where is her strength according to what we just read? I'll read it again. It can refer to a place of refuge or protection, symbolizing God's strength as a source of security for his people. So where is her strength?
Oh. In the-
Her strength is whose strength?
Her strength should be in the man, right?
It can also refer to a place of refuge or protection, symbolizing God's strength. So what is her strength? First and foremost, what is she plugged into? Come on, y'all. Wake up.
God, the most
She's plugged into the Most High, right? She's plugged into the Most High. So via what? It would be via her husband, right? She's plugged into the Most High, but she's subordinate to her husband. A single sister, she's plugged into the Most High, but she will be plugged into the priest, the body, for her strength. So what does that mean? Right? Because she's just a strong sister in the Lord. Well, what does that mean that it's a refuge? What is a refuge? What do you do when you need refuge? What do you need refuge from? What?
It's like a safe house when you're in war or somebody's like trying to murder you or something.
Right? What else? Is it always a negative to have refuge? I'm gonna go home to my refuge after this. Is it always a negative?
No, it's comfort.
It's just a place where she abodes, where she always is, right? And that's the key to it, where this type of woman is not only just relying on the Most High when it's bad. Her refuge is in the Most High. Her strength, her day-to-day is constantly plugged into what does my husband want? What does the Most High want via my husband? Right? What does the Most High want via the counsel of these godly men that I'm around? What does my father want? Right? For you teenage girls, young girls that have your fathers around and they're guiding you in the word, it's how do I show the Most High my obedience? Well, I do it through the obedience of my father. Right? I let him guide my situation. Right? We talked about it last week in Sabbath class, just about how we talked about that on Monday, going over Genesis, the 2nd chapter, right? Just showing how in our culture, right, it was like a parental duty for the father to marry his daughter, to find that partner, right? To find that wife for his son. But that son or that daughter would have to want to be under the refuge of that father. That would be their strength. They would plug into that. So this woman that we're reading about, where sisters should be sitting there and saying, wait a minute, well, where's my strength? What am I plugged into? Is my strength my finance? Is my strength how I look that day? My outward appearance? Am I strong in that? Is that the only thing that is my strength that pushes me forward? Is it the hopes of, something carnal tomorrow? Right? This is the mirror we got to hold up and say, well, what's your strength? This woman is clothed in it. Meaning this is her covering. When you see her, you're like, oh, damn. Surely she's a child of the Most High. Surely when they saw Christ and they said, surely this is the man we was looking for that Moses spoke about. People should be able to look at you and say, surely you're a daughter of Zion. Right? So what else we got? Read that.
It says the strength was not only physical.
So this is cultural and historical background on the usage of this word. It says what?
The strength was not only physical.
So she wasn't just a weak woman, but it wasn't just about her physicality. Come on.
But also spiritual.
Come on.
Providing a foundation for courage and a resilience.
Pause. Why does a woman need courage and resilience if she has a strong man to provide and protect? Why does a woman have to be courageous? What?
Because there's gonna be situations when the husband's not around.
Okay. Like what? Like what?
Like dealing with children all day or
You shouldn't have to be strong and courageous against your children. They should be in subjection to you. That's not one. Good try, but I'm not going to let that one slide. Like what? Why would a woman have to be strong and courageous? I'll let you try it again. Come on.
No, I'm scared.
Oh, right. She said, now I'm scared. Wow. I thought we was friends. I thought we was friends out here. I thought we was, I ain't being cool.
It could be like, is
Oh.
that an example?
Oh,
I mean, like, one will be like, I gotta go handle business, I gotta carry all my kids if they sleeping and.
Nah, it's way deep. See, this is the problem. It's way deeper than your children. This is way deeper than that. Why would a woman have to be strong and courageous? What?
I would say so that when like she go around her family, she's not easily influenced by them, and she's not deceived.
That's a brother
or
that's
anything like
thinking. When she gets around her family, right? They're automatically looking at you as the what? We just talked about it, the weaker vessel. Right? And you're automatically spiritually the weaker vessel. But that doesn't mean you can't be strong and courageous and actually stand for something. And this be the problem. You waiting for your husband to stand up for you, but this woman right here that's clothed, she ain't waiting for her husband to stand up and recognize evil for her to recognize it, or to recognize what situation to get into for her to see it. Right? She's not waiting to make the mistake and then her husband has to come along, get your Bible, do this and that. No, she's already clothed in this mentality. So she's doing what? She's looking for the adversary. She's looking for the evil. Right? And y'all gotta get, you sisters gotta get out of your head that it takes just a man for you to see certain things when you have full capability. The Most High has given you full capacity to recognize evil, to recognize when a situation is not righteous, to recognize when you're not around righteous people. But for some reason, sisters rather fall and then have to come back and go through the correction. And that's what deters you, is the correction. You're never deterred by the evil or by the negative you fall into. He's always correcting me. And it's like, well, sis, when you gonna grow up and mature? When you gonna get your blinders off, get your head out the phone because you ain't studying, or get your head in the phone and study, Bible app, whatever, and start recognizing things on your own without having a man. See, this is a woman in her strength. A man ain't gotta dictate every little thing to her because she's already recognizing, and there's nothing wrong with that. Does that mean that she's not subordinate to her husband? Of course she is. Does that mean that she's not submissive? Does that mean that she's not humble? Does it mean that she's not meek and mild and soft-spoken? Of course it don't mean that she's not. It means that even those things are more apparent in her because she's watching for her tone. She's watching for her levels of octaves in her voice. She's checking the emotions when she got to deal with situations. Because she's already clothed with strength. She's already in the refuge of the Most High. You see how this works? Right? Providing a foundation of courage. This is her foundation. This is what her life is built on. Again, we got to ask ourselves, is this what you built up in? Or do you have a different foundation? Courage and resilience. Why does a sister have to be resilient? Well, because resiliency is needed in this wicked ass world, right? They're trying to wear out the saints of the Most High. And again, who are they going to always try to attack first? The children. It's funny, the world will tell you women and children are off limits, and the first thing they attack is the women and children. No, we don't deal with women and children. They off limits, but then they attack y'all first. With all the propagandas, with all the agendas, with all the negative things to destroy the family. So a wife, this is where now the children, a woman being resilient with her children and consistent, right? And not ready to give up in the face of adversity. Because that's what the world promotes, especially to weak women, right? I mean, let's just be honest. Right? Women are made to follow. Right? Women are made to follow. It's just what it is. Women are made to follow, men are made to lead. But what happens is women give up that resilient nature to follow and they want to become the leader. So what does this woman have to be grounded in? Well, the law. of the Most High, the culture, right? All these different things to know, wait, I can't usurp authority. That's not my position. I gotta be resilient in my order and in my structure. Y'all see this? It's very important. This is what type of woman brothers should be looking to marry. This is what type of woman you sisters that have been here should be striving to be. We only hit one definition. We didn't even get through nothing yet. And I got a lot more good things to show sisters, right? But this is what brothers should be looking for. This is what sisters should be looking to be and looking to teach. Resiliency in the face of adversity, not giving up, courage, righteous courage, right? Let me give y'all an example of courage real quick. Go to Maccabees. Now, I didn't know where I was going to slide this, but I'm going to slide it right here. What is it, 2 Maccabees 7? Go to 2 Maccabees 7. And I want you, now I'm gonna skim through this story, but we all know this story of the woman with the 7 sons where I want you to read verse 1.
Look at 2 Maccabees chapter 7 and verse 1.
Come on.
It came to pass also that 7 brethren with their mother were taken,
Right?
and compelled by the king against the law to taste swine's flesh.
Right, so you had this wicked dude, Antiochus, right? We know the situation they was going through. They were Hellenizing our people, and one of the ways they did it was to force them to break the dietary law by eating swine's flesh, right? That was one way they knew that was going to defile us and break us away. It was the easiest way to defile a man and the easiest way to break us out of the good graces of the Most High, and to show other people that we were down with the king's commandment, his wicked ass commandments, right? So these 7 brothers and their mom was taken as an example. Jump down to verse 18. So in between verse 1 and verse 17, 6 out of the 7 sons have been slaughtered heinously, right? Tongues ripped out, scalped alive, limbs cut off, privy members, all the worst things that you could ever do to a man were done in her eyesight to her 6 sons. So now the 7th son, if I'm not mistaken, after him also they brought the 6. Now, they did it to the 5 sons. The 6th son they bring now in verse 18 in front of mom. Because what do they want to do? They're like, look, we just killed 5 of your boys. You ready to eat this swine now? And come on, we watch it all the time, right? They use the children to break a woman. They use the children to break the woman into breaking the children. That's what this situation was. We're going to torment and kill your sons, and then as long as we got one of them, as long as we can use one of your children to break you, break your strength, break your courage, break your resiliency, we got you.
Yeah.
Well, let's see. Read verse 18.
Verse
I didn't know
18.
where I was going to put this. It was there. Go ahead, the spirit. Go ahead, read.
After him also they brought the 6,
Right?
who being ready to die, said, Be not deceived without cause,
Come on.
for we suffer these things for ourselves.
So her son was like, look, we good. We gonna suffer this. We gonna die. It's all good, mama. It's all good, king. It's for naught. Come on.
Having sinned against our God.
Because they know why they were getting this torment. They sinned.
Yeah.
The nation sinned against the Most High. So they were some stand-up bros. To own that, to take the sins of the nation and say, look, we deserve it. Go ahead.
Therefore, marvelous things are done unto us.
Come on.
But think not thou that takest in hand to strive against God,
Right?
that thou shalt escape unpunished.
So for the things you do to us, you ain't gonna escape unpunished because you're going against the Most High here. This is what this 6th son was reminding Antiochus, the king. So he's literally berailing the king in front of all his people. So you know this king wasn't gonna take it lightly.
Yeah.
You don't talk to the king like that, especially not when he got you, right? He has you dead to rights. But guess what? He was a stand-up, courageous dude. Let's see what mama is saying. No, son. No, son.
Stay quiet.
Stay quiet, son. My baby. my poor baby. They already took 5 of your brothers. Make it home to me. Just eat the pork, son. Just eat the pork. Just take a little nibble. Come on, son. We need you back home. God, why?
Right,
Why?
that dramatic Hispanic black woman scene that you see in movies.
Damn. Right? That's what she was doing. Trust me. She was in the background like, no, baby. No, be quiet. Read 20.
Verse 20. But the mother was marvelous above all.
She was what?
Marvelous above all.
Come on.
And worthy of honorable memory.
Read.
For when she saw her 7 sons slain with the space of 1 day.
Come on, man. Some of us could even deal with one of our children being slain in a day. She had all 7 of her sons wiped out. And who knows what other parts of her family. Husband probably gone, probably been took, right? Could they go for the men first? Her husband was probably in the military or something.
Yeah.
But her sons were slain in the space of a day. Let's see what she says. Come on.
She bare it with a good courage.
She did what?
She bare it with a good courage.
Why? Because strength is what she was clothed with. Courage and resiliency was what this woman was endowed with. It was her foundation in the Most High. Come on.
Because of the hope that she had in the Lord.
Wait, because of the hope in herself?
The hope that she had in the Lord.
Wait, because she was going to bribe the king and she was going to figure out some way to, you know what? I'm going to just try to be the king's wife and maybe he'll let my sons go. I'm going to try to sway the king in some weird way. Because of what?
The hope that she had in the Lord.
And that's what we got to understand. Like, it don't get more adverse than that.
Right.
Sorry, it just don't. It don't get more adverse than your kids being slain in front of you, and you got a decision to make whether you're going to break God's laws or just hold fast to the faith. And this woman said, nah, we ain't doing that.
Yeah.
And what did she do after? She gave a speech to her sons and said, look, take the death honorably. And they did. Now we could jump back to the story, right? But just for time's sake, let's slide back. Let's slide back to, boom. Did it update? What happened? Let's go back to Proverbs. Go back to Proverbs. Oh, it's at the top. My bad. I forgot part 2 is at the bottom. Yeah. Part 1, part 2, part 3, part 3. So we understand that, right? Let's look at this word real quick. The next word, which is honor. The next word, honor, it's hadar, H1926, right? What does that mean? What you got? Splendor, majesty, honor, and glory. Read that real quick. Where you at?
Proverbs 31, verse 25.
Come on.
Strength and honor are her clothing.
Right, so honor, right? What do we have here? Cultural and historical background. Read that for me.
It says, in ancient Hebrew culture,
Right.
concepts of beauty and honor were deeply intertwined with one's relationship to the Most High.
So it wasn't about her looks. She wasn't honored because your hair, your appearance, your garment. It wasn't about those things for a woman of strength. A woman whose refuge was in the Most High wasn't determining her life on her outward appearance.
Right.
Didn't mean she walked around looking busted either.
Yeah.
Right? She didn't walk around as looking crazy, letting herself go, but she didn't rely on the carnal. She kept herself up. She was probably in good health. She probably ate well. She did the things that her husband wanted because she wanted to please him. Right? And what? It just now was exuding through her physical appearance along with her spiritual acumen, those spiritual virtues.
Yeah.
Come on, what else?
Intertwined with one relationship to the Most High and community.
And what?
And community.
Who saw her honor?
And the community.
Right, she was honorable in the eyes of the community, but to the Most High first. Come on.
Hadar was not merely an aesthetic quality.
Right, aesthetic meaning an outward quality, aesthetics, things that you can just see for beauty.
Yeah.
It wasn't just beauty. Come on.
But also a reflection of divine favor and moral integrity.
And what?
moral integrity.
So how do you see if a woman is honorable or not? How would she show her honor?
Moral integrity.
But, right, moral integrity goes into what now? How you deal with people.
Yeah.
How you talk to people.
Your manners.
How you deal with your husband in front of people. How you communicate to the children. All these things are a factor that the whole community could see. That's why she was honored. But it said that she literally was clothed. She never left the house butt naked. Who leaves the house butt naked? You always got clothes on, right?
Got it.
So imagine, it's saying that this woman never, ever was without these two things. Imagine that. Imagine that.
You know what's funny? Whenever I was in HEB with my Rev recently, and these two Judites, they walked in and they had on like the little, like one-piece onesie type yeah, bodysuits. That's what it is. I just call it a onesie.
Damn.
Dude, they just came in there. Nah, it's two chicks.
Yeah.
They came in with a onesie, and they just look busted, look
They
bad.
look dishonorable.
And exactly. And I had said to her, I was like, because she was like, damn, like they look pretty bad. And I was like, see, but that's why whenever you step out, you got to make sure that, you look a certain type of way and that you carry yourself a certain type of way.
Mm-hmm.
Because for every one of you that people see, they're going to see a million of these.
Yep.
So how do you want to represent your nation?
Yep. Your community.
Your community.
Your husband.
Yeah, because that's what they would like. That's how they would like all Israelite women to look.
Yeah. Like vagabonds.
Like just crazy.
Like scallywags.
But
like hood roaches. Like little speed demons.
ain't even hood rats no more. It's hood roaches.
It's hood roaches.
So Maria was telling me today that one, she stands out at her job because she's wearing a dress, and straight to the point, a lot of people that don't know about Israelites will associate a modest Israelite woman to a nation, like, oh, are you Muslim?
Yeah.
Are you this? Are you that? Or you look Muslim, you look Arab. Still in a demeaning spirit, like, oh, no, we ain't hood roaches, we are daughters of Zion. And we was talking about it today, and we're like, yeah, I've had this compliment, like, oh, you look Arab. If it's supposed to be a compliment, but I like what Tweet Squatters Op is bringing out, because what he's bringing out, y'all are adorned with the spirit of the Most High. Y'all don't look like Arabs, y'all look like original daughters of Zion, representing the nation of Yasharali.
The reason they say that the women look like Muslims is because they're the ones that at least show somewhat a care of how they look when they step out the house. So that they always think that we're y'all Muslims, but in reality,
you want to really know what it is? Surely a black and Hispanic woman cannot be humble and have a sense of modesty in her dress code. It's not, oh, are you a Muslim because Muslims do it? It's because niggas can't, and niggas don't, and Mexicans don't, and you Hispanic women ain't on that. So surely I wouldn't associate you with a black or Hispanic woman. So I'm going to go to the next thing that I only know, and really you should take it as a slight.
yep.
You should take it as a slight when the outlook of the other people is that you can't be associated with a level of modesty because of your nationality or because of your bloodline, right? They do it to the men, right? Or what, you a Muslim? Same thing. But as soon as you don't eat pork, you a Muslim. And it's like, nah, bro, I'm not a Muslim. But surely a nigga can't control his diet. Surely a nigga can't have no discipline without some Arab logic injected into there.
Yep.
Because that's what it goes back to, this white supremacy. It always goes back to, we can't do nothing without someone else's ideology or religion or belief injected into it. We can't have our own.
Yep.
That's the point. And you should you should be pissed the hell off about it. That, wait a minute, we gotta be associated with something to be called righteous. That's not the Most High. To be righteous or looked at as modest, you gotta be a damn Allah lover. Right? You gotta be chasing the cobblestone.
Sure.
Right? Like, come on, like we gotta change. See, that narrative begins with us though. It don't begin with them. The narrative has to start with us, and that's why we do these classes, to remind sisters that, look, this is how you gotta move, right? When you out in the world, this is what you gotta appear as. This is what you gotta be, and then in your whole entire existence, you have to embody, right? You can't switch the light off. One minute I'm an Israelite from the tribe of Issachar, the next minute I'm just some chick from Nebraska, right? I just talked about my dad. Or I'm an Israelite, tribe of Issachar, right? And then I go, and I'm just some chick from Brownsville, right? Like, it can't be like that.
Yeah.
Or I'm just some chick from Rochester when I get around everybody else. No, you're supposed to be a woman clothed with honor and strength daily. In the shower, in your bedroom, in your job, on the phone, grocery store, in the car. It don't matter. That's what you should want to epitomize. Right? So let's go to the next point. Another way a woman is in her strength is she builds her home from the ground up. She builds her home from the ground up. This is another shot to white supremacy. Because white supremacy taught us one thing about us. That when we're broken and divided, we're weak as hell. When the black house, when the Hispanic house is broken, they got us. So a shot to white supremacy and to feminism is to have that house being built from the ground up. Proverbs 14:1. Somebody else get me Ruth chapter 10 and verse, Ruth chapter 4 and verse 10. Read Proverbs 14:1.
Proverbs chapter 14 and verse 1.
Come on,
Every wise woman buildeth her house,
read.
but the foolish putteth it down with her hand.
Right, so the building of the house, what does that entail? Because every wise woman puts up curtains? Every wise woman can put up wallpaper? Is that what it's saying? Is she a plumber? Is she out there like throwing shingles on the roof and throwing windows in? Is that what it's saying? That a wise woman do? Right? No, she ain't. It's not about the aesthetic of the home, even though that's important also.
Yeah.
Right? Because we're going to read about a woman dealing with the aesthetic of her home or the appearance. But this building is a different building that I want to deal with. Let's deal with it. Go to Ruth chapter 4 and verse 10.
Ruth chapter 4 verse 10.
Right?
Moreover, Ruth the Moabitess, the wife of Mahalon,
Right?
have I purchased to be my wife.
Right. So this was when Boaz was now presenting Ruth to the I believe to the men or the elders of the city. He was kind of letting them know, hey, this is what I'm doing. This is what I did. This is my wife. Right? I purchased her. Everything was on the up and up. I went through the parameters that I need to go through. I checked with the next of kin.
Yeah.
I was the next of kin that it fell to. This is the situation. That's a little background on the story. You could always just go back and read it. Right? So I purchased her to be my wife. So this is Boaz talking. Go ahead.
To raise up the name of the dead upon his inheritance.
Right? To raise up the name on the dead. Right? Go ahead.
That the name of the dead be not cut off from among his brethren.
Right. So we will read this about Onan. Remember Onan, Judah, raising up seed in your brother's name? Or Leverett. This wouldn't be the Leverett marriage, but this would just be the raising of seed. Come on.
And from the gate of his place ye are witnesses this day.
Right, so he was making his marriage public. Right? He was making his situation public. Now notice, he said, I purchased to be my wife. He didn't say girlfriend. He didn't say a little sneaky link, jump off, little strip tease, right? He didn't say any of that, right? Little creeper down the block. He said, this is my wife. So when this woman becomes his wife, there's a duty. She's now contracted to build a house, right? She's a contractor. I'm contracting you, sis. You're going to build this house. But in what way? Let's read. 11.
Verse 11.
Right?
And all the people that were in the gate and the elders said,
Right?
we are witnesses.
We are witnesses. All the people in the gate and the elders said, we are witnesses. We understand. What are they witnessing? And what do they reference that Ruth was going to be contracted with? They reference a historical event. Read.
The Lord make the woman that is coming to thine house like Rachel and like Leah.
Pause. So we in Ruth, they jumped 400 years, maybe 500 years back to Genesis. Damn. Them niggas knew history. But why was Rachel and Leah brought up as the two women that Ruth were going to follow? What was it about Rachel and Leah that was so detrimental? Come on, tap back into Genesis mode, right? What was going on with Rachel and Leah? And I'll throw Jacob in there too. Well, let's think about the story. How did Jacob get with Leah? Did he contract for Leah or Rachel?
Rachel.
It was Rachel. But Laban, being the trickster that he is, slid Leah up in the bedchamber. And Jacob, being the righteous man that he wasn't just going to get rid of her for no reason.
Yeah.
So he took Leah on, and she was called the what?
Rejected.
Right, she was, or the hated.
Yeah, the hated.
Right?
It's her name, La'ah.
Right, La'ah. That's her name. Her name is La'ah. When in the Hebrew, it's La'ah. No! No! It's crazy. We were looking at that the other day, right? It's La'ah. You like Leah? La'ah. Nope. We don't want that. Reject. But he didn't reject her. He took her onto him, right? He left Laban, he left with Leah. But Rachel was what? The loved. She was the one that Jacob was really working for, right? He loved, he saw her, he loved her, he wept. Oh my God, she's so beautiful, blah, 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 blah. I'm gonna work all these years for this one woman's love and affection. I ain't got no dowry, I ain't got nothing, but I'm gonna break these bones to get this woman. So now, what happens? Well, they steal away from Laban, and Jacob goes and settles in his own area, his own land. What's the next thing that happens after, or not even before, excuse me, I misspoke. They haven't even left Laban yet. Soon as he gets with them, what's the deal? What are they fighting over? What?
Having kids.
Yes. Who's bringing forth the babies? Who, and not just the baby, it was who's going to bring forth the son, right? Why? Because what was that building of the house for the woman? First order of business was, we got to ensure that there's another righteous man in the succession of the lineage. Keep the line moving, right? Keep the lineage growing, right?
Yeah.
Very important. That was very important to a woman. We read it with Samuel's mother. Why was she so distressed and distraught? Because she wanted to bring forth a child. We don't read about her ex, right? We read about Rachel and Leah. We know they went back and forth with the mandrakes, right? They getting aphrodisiacs together. They getting all types of, I got the chocolate. I got this, I got that. Because they both were vying for that child, right? Even when Rebecca, she was barren. And what? Man, let me go and treat of the Lord. We gotta keep this thing going. Right?
Rachel even said, give me children unless I die.
Unless I die.
Jacob was like, am I God?
No, that was Sarah and Abraham.
Was it?
I believe so. Was it Sarah and Abraham, or was it
Jacob?
Or was it Jacob? Okay.
Yeah.
You're right. My
Give me
bad.
children unless I die.
Yeah, give me children, lest I die. Think about that. So even in that statement, somebody find that scripture. That's perfect, actually.
Genesis 30,
Find me that scripture real quick, because it goes right here.
book of Genesis.
It goes right here in what I'm saying. Why would a woman make such a declarative statement? Give me children, lest I die. Read it. Genesis 30:1.
Genesis chapter 30, verse 1.
Come on.
And when Rachel saw that she bare Jacob no children,
Right.
Rachel envied her sister,
Come on.
and said unto Jacob, give me children, or else I die.
Like, that's a strong statement. Like, I'm going to die if I don't have children. So let's just try to go into the mind of Rachel. What was she thinking? What?
She's not fulfilling her purpose.
Oh, you just hit it. You hit it directly on the nail. There's nowhere else to go with it, right? So now, if we take that mindset of Rachel and we apply it to all the women of the time that were righteous or that had any type of pure or clean or godly upbringing, what was the mind state of any woman at that time?
To bring forth children for their
Well,
husbands.
really, let me make sure I'm fulfilling my purpose.
Right.
You see that? Because then there's another thing with bringing forth the children that has to be there also. Once you conceive and bear the child, what else you got to do? You got to teach that little boy. You got to teach that little booger, right? You got to impart the culture, the language, the history into that child. But just think about that statement, give me children lest I die. I mean, it just shows you that a woman's purpose, right, especially at these times, was inherently to, first of all, if it was to have a child, then also before a child, you had to have what? Can't have a child without what? A woman can't get pregnant without what? Huh? Without a husband. Right? So she wasn't trying to get just pregnant. Like, just give me a child. And then he hit it and then dipped. And then all of a sudden she's fine with child with no man. That wasn't the custom.
Yeah.
The custom was, let me find a good man, or let a good man come. And then I trust in him, he trusts in me. Right? Let me now have children. Right? Watch. Go to, man, I had this in there and I took it out. And I shouldn't have took it out because man, y'all did that with that, that was you. That was a good add-in with that Genesis right there. That was real good. That was real good. Go to, you know what I'm saying? Go to 1 Timothy 2:15.
1 Timothy chapter 2 and verse 15.
Come on.
Notwithstanding, she shall be saved in childbearing.
She shall be what?
She shall be saved in
So
childbearing.
we skipping from Old Testament, New Testament ain't changed. The narrative is that a woman could be saved through bearing children, but not just popping out some little gremlin. What else had to be there? Read.
If they continue in faith,
If they what?
continue in faith,
If she stayed with strength and honor as her clothing, virtue and humility. She had to stay in the faith, man. It wasn't just enough to get pregnant, because then you'd have a wicked ass situation like Hagar and Ishmael getting kicked out the camp. She got pregnant, and what happened? She got a boot, a bottle of water, and a loaf of bread. Get out. Get out.
Take that kid with you.
Take the kid with you and just leave. Go grow up in the wilderness with the damn Egyptians.
Dang.
Vagabond. Right?
Dang.
Get them up out of here. She got pregnant. Look, he got cast off. Right? Hey, Rebecca got pregnant. Look at Esau. I mean, he ain't no upstanding dude. Right?
Nah.
Esau was detestable. Nasty, filthy human being. Murderous, lying, cheating, stealing.
Lying.
So it wasn't just enough to just have a child. The woman had to continue in faith. What else? Faith in what?
and charity,
And what?
and charity.
Faith and charity. Go ahead. What you got?
Be real quick. It's, Genesis chapter 30, verse 19 and 20.
Wait, no. Go ahead. Yeah, I didn't finish. Go ahead.
And holiness.
And what?
And holiness.
And what else?
With sobriety.
With what?
sobriety.
Yeah, she had to be sober-minded. Meaning what? She had to have been able to be directed and corrected. Right?
Yeah.
She had to have been able to been open enough to be shown what she didn't know as a young mother.
Yeah.
as a young woman. The elders teach the younger how to love their children, love their husbands, guide the household. What you got?
You know, just to add on to what you're saying,
Mhm.
that sober mind is probably one of the coldest points that I just brought out, because the sober mind talks about what you just talked about, but it made me think about what you were hitting earlier about the resilience, about the courage, because it takes a sober mind to be able to have courage when a situation calls for you to have courage.
Yeah.
And for you to be resilient when a situation calls for you to be resilient. And if your mind isn't sober, then whatever it is that's calling for you to have that courage or that resilience, if your mind ain't sober, you're gonna crumble.
So she couldn't be distracted
Yeah.
with what's going on in somebody else's house. She couldn't be she couldn't be distracted on social media.
Busybody.
She couldn't be a busybody in other men's matters, right? She couldn't be easily distracted. She had to have a high level of discernment
Man.
to be able to see what was needed for the time.
Yeah.
What angle I had to deal with this situation in. How I come at this person and deal with them the right way so it comes off with humility. Was there something else you were gonna add? You said you were gonna go
Oh,
through?
yeah. Read Genesis 30, verse 19 and 20 real quick.
Genesis chapter 30, verse 19.
I'm bad, I didn't.
Go ahead.
And Leah conceived again
Uh-huh.
and bare Jacob the sixth son.
Go ahead.
And Leah said, God hath endued me with a good dowry.
Uh-huh.
Now will my husband dwell with me,
Go ahead.
because I have borne him 6 sons.
Uh-huh.
And she called his name Zebulun.
That's how Zebulon got that name, my dwelling. But Leah was saying this because remember, Leah was the one that was not favored
Right.
by Jacob. And all she ever wanted was to be favored by Jacob. She wanted some favor to be shown to her. So after she had this sixth child, after she had this sixth son, she was like, man, the Most High, he's given me a good dowry. So when you look up that word dowry, it says the money, goods, or estate which a woman brings to her husband in marriage, the portion given with a wife. So it's funny, like in reading this definition, you see that a man, he pays a dowry for a wife, right? But that wife also comes with a dowry to that husband. That's why the husband had to pay a dowry to even receive the wife, because the wife that he was receiving, she was gonna come with something.
She was worth something.
Yeah, she wasn't just gonna come with
Doesn't it say?
body and look. She's coming with
Doesn't it say good estate?
yep. It says the money, goods, or estate.
Right. So they would come with inheritance, or they would come with some type of. They would come with some type of good. I mean, look at even though the gifts were given to Rebecca, when she came back to Isaac, she came back with goods.
That's why a man has to pay the dowry.
She came back with camels, the bracelets. Usually, a woman when she got married at that time, she wouldn't just be sent off empty-handed, is what it's saying.
And
She would get a handmaiden.
Yep.
She might have got a nurse, a few of them, a few servants. But her father, if he was if they had it, he would probably send her off. Hey, here's a piece of land. Here's a few cattle to add to y'all's situation, right? So
also I'm gonna add this too. We always say that the biggest resource for a man is his wife, or is a woman. That's the biggest resource a man could ever have. So when you look at a resource, the definition is any source of aid or support. So tell me that's not a wife. That is the duty of a wife, to be an aid or a support. And then it says an expedient to which a person may resort for assistance, safety, or supply. Y'all see that? So, and then it says resort. So a woman is a resource.
even Proverbs 31 teaches us that.
Yep.
Yeah.
He have no need of spoil.
Yeah, Proverbs 31:11.
Spoil is goods.
And you want to know what's funny?
And the whole chapter teaches you that what? A woman is able to bring resources to the house.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's a
right?
good spirit. You always bring out the classes how a woman is a homemaker. So,
Go ahead.
I like it because it's showing the mentality that a woman should want to have, and how she can be that. Let me look at the title real quick. What would you have for the title again?
She can be a weapon of honor.
Yeah. Yep.
She could be a weapon or a vessel of honor.
Yep.
And remember, it's not just the carnal things that make her a weapon of honor, because she could come with all those things and still be off. It's how it's used, right? Where's her considerations? Where's her mind at in building, right? Were you done with your point?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Right, so the next little point I have, right, because we're dealing with building the house. A wise woman built their house, or how is this woman weaponized in the right way? So another point you can write down is her main focus is obviously on building the house, but she is focused on her family. So once the family comes, right? Like I was watching something the other day, something on YouTube. You know, I'll be watching a lot of different media. And so I was watching one of these cats. He was, I don't know what it was. I don't remember. But he was, you know how like they'll review like these male coaches and stuff. They were like, somebody would text him like, "Man, I got this problem." So the dude hit him up and was like, "I got this issue. My wife, we just got married 4 years ago, right? We got 2 kids, age 3 or age 2 and age 4 or something like that.
Yeah.
Young kids, one of them is still in damn diapers, right? And obviously this was old. I'm just now watching it, but it was like spring break is coming up and she wants to go on a girls trip. She brings it to me and I tell her that I don't feel like it's acceptable. And then she goes in on, well, I've raised kids. I deserve to go. She didn't raise kids. Her kids are still in diapers. So is raising kids just popping them out? Isn't raising children like this constant thing that a woman does, even into a certain age range? Like, I'm gonna say this, a woman of wisdom is gonna raise a son, and when he hits a certain age, she's still gonna be able to guide him. Why? Why? Because she got wisdom.
Yeah.
Look at Solomon's mother, how she dropped bars on top of him. She endowed him with jewels. One of the best chapters in the Bible, right? She hit him with wisdom, not usurping authority, but still being able to guide her son who was a king.
Yeah.
Hey son, this is what you look for. Hey son, this is what you shouldn't do. This is what you should do, based off of her own experiences. Let's not forget who Bathsheba was. She started out in an adulterous situation first, and then righted that wrong. So she had the experience to teach, hey, this is what you're looking for. This is what you want, this is what you don't want. You see that? So read it one more time. Oh, you didn't read anything. Go to 1 Timothy 5 and 14. So she's focused on family. Why is this important? Well, because in this day and age, what are you taught to not do? This same very thing. You're taught that your ambitions, we had this whole ambition conversation. You're taught, it's taught to you in this way that if you're not seeking your ambition, whether you're a mom or not, you're being, you're losing out, right? You're not taught that your ambition should be in your family. That's why the families lack. That's why the children lack, right? Because the mother is not there to do the motherly thing that they need, especially early on in their life. You're taught to go build somebody else's empire, right? You're taught to go, and we get it. We understand that through circumstances, through curses, just through societal measures, with inflation and this, you can't live in a house and how you gotta have like 18 incomes coming in there. The kids gotta work, they gotta be 5 years old working.
Right.
Right? Because it's hard. Right? But what does that mean though? Does it mean that the scriptures say, ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free? So isn't our whole entire existence to try to break away and free ourselves from that construct that's been created? Remember, this has been given to us. Something was created for us in the negative, and then they chained us up with it. But our job is to use words and wisdom to break free. So even though you're in a circumstance where, yeah, I gotta work. And my kids, they just gotta be there and, you know, I gotta throw the TV in front of them and, well, you're supposed to be using wisdom and finding out, how do I break from that construct that's been given to me?
Yeah.
How do I break away from that design? That's the whole point, right, of the wisdom. Ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free.
It's no different than a brother.
Same
I
thing.
remember talking with the brothers about this. Like, if you're in a situation where you see that you can't give 100% to the Most High, then wouldn't the thing be to, like, let me find a way to make, if I'm giving 50% to the Most High, let me find a way to where I can get to 70, then 80, then eventually 90 to 100, instead of just staying at 50. Would not try to, because obviously something is a problem, so would not try to figure out how to fix the problem or a remedy for the problem,
Or do I just sit under the bondage
and
and
just
not, and just say, oh, that's just how it is?
Dang.
And that's part of the problem, right? That's part of the problem when you go back into Proverbs 31. It shows you about this woman who's trying to make provisions outside of what's just there.
yeah.
She waketh up early. She's not afraid for the snow. She's doing this. She's doing that. She's not sitting around just, oh well, you know, the kids gonna suffer. Well, I gotta go do my thing. No, her mind is, wait a minute. How do I promote the best life?
Yeah.
Because in promoting the best life for her children, what is she getting? What does a woman get in return? You've raised children, right? You've raised children, right? You raising children, right? So just real quick, and I'm using y'all because y'all got older kids than even she does, right? But just knowing that you did everything in your power that you knew at the time to provide, protect, and add some moral sense to your children. How do you feel about that? Do you feel like you were robbed of something because you had to put something into your children? Nah. Truthfully, this was a woman's greatest glory. This is what she took pride in, was the fact that, and I always bring it up, if you go back to the 60s, the 70s, and then it started to be ushered out in the 80s. But when a woman when she said that, hey, what's your profession? And it was like, oh, I'm a lawyer. And then the other one, what's your profession? Oh, I'm a doctor. Oh, what's your profession? Oh, I'm this. They were kind of looked at like, you doing all that? But the one that was glorified was, I'm a homemaker. I'm a homemaker. I raise children. I take care of the house. I'm there for my husband. Like, and then it started to be looked down on, right? When Peggy Bundy came about, and she was the terrible homemaker. She got damn cigarette butts in the salad. All he eating is toaster leavings. She ain't cooking. She just spending his money. She watching Oprah, right? We're gonna blame it on the VCR, right? Blame it on Oprah. But there was a glory and an honor in a woman guiding that home, right? And taking care of her children, and my children first, my family first. Now, let me ask you a question. When did that stop? Like, what made that stop, in y'all's opinion? What made a woman start to second question the investment in her children? That's wild. That's wild. They literally had sisters second questioning the investment in their children. For what though? What did they give you instead? What did they give you instead?
The government assistance.
That? What else?
Women's lib.
Huh?
Yeah, women's lib.
Women's what?
Lib.
What's that?
You know, they get the right to do what a man can do.
Oh, okay. Equality. What else?
Their careers.
Oh, I'm a PhD. What else?
Just like everything that you're saying, for work, I'm in a group with a lot of women. And they asked a question, the manager asked a question. She's like, if y'all can choose a career of your choice, what would y'all choose? So everybody's throwing out careers, and I said, I would love to be home. And the responses were, oh no, I couldn't be with the children, or I couldn't be with my husband all day, and it's a lot of Israel there, and I was just like, your poor husband.
That's wild.
Sorry.
It's wild that that mentality has been literally pushed into our women, right? Because really it's a form of hate, right? It's a form of hate that the scriptures tell us that we would go through, that Deuteronomy 28, 54, 55, 56, hate your husband, evil eye towards your children. Like, what mother don't want to be around their children 24/7? They're always cute and cuddly, even when they're not.
Even when they not.
Even when they're not, they're always cute and cuddly to mom. Right? They can have damn stink breath, drool, they could just wake up, drool hanging down, and all types of hair crazy. And moms will kiss them in the mouth. Oh, baby, you're so cute. Like, Dad, it ain't my birthday tea. You ain't even kissing me like that. What the hell's going on? Right? The kids always get the love, but you gotta, okay, so let's do it like this. You really gotta sit back and examine within yourself why the thought of I can't be with my children all day would be imparted into your members. Well, because you lack honor, you lack courage, you lack discipline to deal with them, right? You lack humility, you lack patience above all. Because you know once you get around them kids, they're just gonna run you ragged and then you don't wanna kick them to the curb. But should it be like that? What parent should be ready to just dismiss their kids after a few hours? You lack structure. Any woman that don't want to be around her kids is because her mind ain't there, man. Your mind ain't there to understand what the Most High and what them kids need, what the Most High wants from you and what them children need. And what they did was they gave you a degree. They gave you some BS career that your husband don't care about. Don't no man get with no woman off her career. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Don't no man get with a woman off her career. The women that have the most careers are the most single. And they're the most bossy. And they're the most usurping of authority. Don't no righteous man want to be with no career woman. Because when her career starts to take off and she starts to put the Most High second, then what? You wasted your time. Don't no man date no woman, no, like I would never date a woman off her career. And the more career she got, the more we ain't talking. Because I get it. Now I gotta compete with your career. Think about it. Now I gotta compete with your PhD, your MBA, your doctorates. Because when it comes down to now judgment and humility, think about a woman that has a career and she's strong in her career. How does she get there? You ever see a female lawyer?
Oh, that's disgusting.
It's filthy. It's like a man. She's bossy as hell. She's catty, but niggerish. Even the white ones, they're niggerish, right? They're snippy. They got a comeback for everything. Could you imagine being married to that? You say something and she's lawyering you. You're on trial, she's on the defense, you're on the damn prosecution. The thing is, how do you order that mind? How do you bring that mind into subjection when you just some regular ass Bible nigga and she got money? You see that? Yo, throughout history, men never dated women for their careers. They dated women for their humility and for their submissiveness, not because of what you brought to the table as far as income. I don't even want a chick with money. I don't want no money. I'll show you how to get it though. Right? But I don't want you to come with money. Why? Because then your money is going to be the boss of me. Or so you think. So you think. You're going to use your money and status to control the narrative. And if the money is the focus, then where am I? In the totem pole of career, education, money, husband, children, where do I fall at? The man always is automatically last. It be money, career, job, parents, dog, cat, fish, plants. Kids are up there too, and then your nigga at the bottom. Cause that's all he is to you when you got money and status, just a nigga. It don't matter what he come with, it don't matter what wisdom, it don't matter where he's at. He's not reputed as anything because he don't match up. And I'm saying this in a way because you gotta see that y'all been duped. They gave you the old switcheroony and you thinking like, yeah! But that ain't real strength. Because a real man ain't looking at you for that. I don't give a damn what you drive. You can walk. You can walk. I mean, let's just be real. Men would rather go get the little chick that works at Starbucks and ain't got no car and she got a nice smile on her face. I've talked about this before. They go get some high-powered chick in a business suit.
Yeah.
Give me the Starbucks chick that's smiling and that's approachable. Hey, how's your day? Cute. I remembered your order from yesterday. Really? That's the only ambition I need. She's attentive to what's like order taking, right? But the boss, like, well, I got money. And like, nah, bro, wait, hold up. So I can't tell you nothing because you got money? You trying to kick me out? You gonna buy me things to take it back? Come on, y'all know the setup, right? Y'all know the setup. But what am I trying to show y'all? That a woman in her strength is dealing with her family and her children. And in doing that, that empowers her even more to continue to be that godly woman. Because she's getting something. You were taught that you didn't get nothing from raising children. That you didn't get nothing from being the backbone to your husband. I use that word very strongly, not lightly. Right? The support to your husband. I'm in that way. You were taught that you didn't get nothing from that there was no honor in that there was no reward for that. And everything else you were given as a replacement, it don't even add up. Because all them women that seeking that, they single. No man is dealing with that. 1 Timothy 5:14, somebody get it.
Book of 1 Timothy chapter 5, verse 14.
Come on.
I will therefore that the younger woman marry.
Get careers.
That the younger woman marry.
College.
Marry.
Community college.
Marry.
Doctorates.
Marry.
PhDs.
Marry.
The younger woman is supposed to marry. What was the importance of that? Well, you were supposed to get a man of wisdom to help guide you. Not take your young, beautiful years and throw them down the toilet with hoe phases. Because with all the stuff I'm talking about, they forgot to tell you about that little hoe phase that you were gonna have, where usually was gonna be sliding. Oh my bad. Dudes was gonna be sliding on you and away from you and around you, using you, and then when you hit 40, oh, I need to get me a righteous man. What? 40? Says, you done wasted 20 years of just nastiness. Chasing a career, chasing men, being used, and then at 40, you coming with baggage. You coming with baggage. Straight up. You coming with baggage from those relationships that didn't pan out. I don't know if y'all understand something. And I pray that you understand. The first failed relationship in a woman's life is baggage. Why do I say that? Because there shouldn't be a failed relationship. A woman wasn't created to have a failed relationship. Neither was a man. But a woman was not created to be with a man and then separate from that man. It automatically creates baggage in that woman. Right? The younger woman married. Why? You have a higher rate of success of staying with that man forever if you got with him younger than if you got with him when you were 40. Because now you come with a whole bag of tricks that he got to work up out of you. Like, wait, you like, not change that. I don't like that. And you like, change? But see, the wisdom is, read it again.
I will therefore that the younger woman marry.
Yeah. Go get hitched to a man, marital age, go get hitched up and do your duty to your nation. Fulfill and actually feel something. All you got to do is just go on the internet and search up feminists that I don't know how you word it, feminists that were duped, or feminist women tell the truth about feminism. They'll tell you straight up, like, yo, they lied. This ain't what it is. I wish I had a man right now. I'm 50. I got cats, plants, dogs, no man. I ain't had a man in years because I thought it was this way. And everything is being revealed. They out there talking, like, how come men ain't approaching us no more? Because you told us not to. You called us all creepers. He's a creep. You filmed us in the gym looking at you. Remember all those?
Okay.
You made us look bad and feel bad for approaching you, so we stopped. So there's a whole nother breed of women that can't even get men because men ain't approaching. Now you got to approach and get rejected. Right? Rejected left and right. It's crazy. Right? But if we stuck back to the principles of things, right? He said the younger women marry. Go ahead.
Bear children.
Read.
Guide the house.
Do what?
Guide the house.
What if the woman has a good career but is humble? You have those anomalies. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying this is a monolith, that this one thing is a broad stroke on everybody. I'm not trying to paint everybody with a broad brush. You have those situations. It's funny. Me and him was talking about it. We're talking about this today. And I was like, yeah, bro, your rib is one of the anomalies of a woman that can have a good job, good paying job, and still be in subjection to a man. But come on, bro. Think about women that work at McDonald's. Niggas make $2 an hour talking about, I don't need no man, because they can get their nails done. As soon as a chick can get her nails done, she don't need no man. Like, yo, you literally make 4 cents an hour. You can't even pay your rent. You don't need no man, but then as soon as you meet one, I need you to cash at me. I got bills. It's like as soon as a woman can do anything for herself, she uses it as a talking point to deter men and to not be humble. And that's the majority.
Yeah.
So the minority don't make the rule. So sis, if you do got a little cash that you're bringing into the house, or if you making more money than your husband, yeah, remain humble. Keep the Most High first. You in a good standing with the Lord. That's even more honorable.
Yeah.
To not let money be your God, but to let your husband be your guide. Right? But everybody ain't thinking like that. Most women get money, they don't want to pay bills. Nails, shoes, pocketbooks. You pay all the bills, nigga. Wait, what? I gotta pay all of them? Con, okay. So I can't get nothing. And you run around with new stuff all the time. Just go talk to the women in the world. His money is our money, and my money is my money. Damn. That's a cold life. Right? But that can all be weeded out if we get back to the blueprint. The younger women marry. What else?
Give none occasion.
Read it from the top.
I will therefore that the younger women marry, bear children, guide the house.
Well, I don't want no children. Yeah, I'm married, but I don't want no children. Because I need to be able to take trips. What? Like, what does trips have to do with a duty? Well, because a lot of women are focused on their own happiness. But this woman that we're talking about, her happiness is sacrificed, or what she thinks is happiness is sacrificed for the happiness of her household and that well-being. You know how hard it is to homeschool some kids? Like, really? Homeschool some kids? The level of patience that you have to homeschool kids is, I be feeling bad for teachers. Especially, the young kids that, bro, 1 minute they in there, 3 seconds later, they color on the walls. Do you know what that takes? The painstaking effort that takes?
Tried it today.
He said, I tried it today. I stopped trying that a long time ago. Like, nah, right, bro.
Today.
I'm like, look, I'm gonna help y'all, right? I'm gonna help y'all. See? They be there for 15 minutes and then they start eating the markers. Open that for me. Right? So, bear the children, come on. Guide the house. Read.
Give none occasion to the adversary to speak reproachfully.
Uh-oh. So what is this saying about a woman that's married and children and actually guiding her house? Why would the enemy speak reproachfully? Well, he wouldn't be able to. He said, give none occasion. There wouldn't be no reproach in that. The reproach comes when the woman is not doing that. It's like, why are you doing that? There was a reproach at one time. But remember, things have been flipped upside down. So like you said, you telling me I want to stay at home with the kids? They're like, the hell is this woman? Oh, Jean Cleaver. But guess what? Guess what? By a raise of hands. Now, watch this. Ivy, you ain't got no kids. Well, don't you want to sit at home with your kids? She ain't got none. But what is she calculating? Okay, when I do get married, and when I do have kids, if I'm in this same mode of hustling and working and this and that, how am I see them? It's gonna be, I get a 6-week little maternity leave. That's whack. You at the job leaking breast milk. That's crazy. Just think about it. What they got y'all going through just for some status. You at the damn job leaking breast milk. I gotta go pump. But we ain't got a pump policy, sis. So you gotta sort out your breaks to go pump. Damn, man, I missed my pump window. The milk is spoiled. And they ain't got no fridge up in here. All that golden breast milk is just wasted. Like, yo, it's crazy the way they be having y'all. A lot of y'all ain't healed in 6 weeks. You got a C-section, it take, more than 6 weeks to heal from that. But guess what? Gotta go to work. Busting stitches and all. Just think about it. All for what? What did you get in return? Is the crazy part. Because I'm sitting back laughing like, damn, you got duped. You got duped. You got hit over the side of the head. Pow. Right? And I'm just sitting there laughing like, damn. And then what? You look at the children and you're like, yeah, they need their mama. They need their mama. Right? They're too much like their daddy. They need a little balance. They need a little bit. They need a little of this. Read on.
Verse 15.
Right?
For some are already turned aside after Satan.
Because some what?
Already turned aside after Satan.
I mean, what is that saying? He starts out with the young women should get married, have children, and build a house. Then he comes back and says some have already turned aside for Satan. Who's the some? And what is the Satan in this case? Damn. You gotta, you gotta look at it, man. Who's the some? The some will be the women that had the opportunity to do this and they rejected it. What is the Satan? Did like the white man pop up and say, hey, sis, here's a degree? Well, no, not like that. The Satan would be the idleness that a woman would have in her young age, where she should be occupied. Remember, it said she shall be saved in childbearing. Give me a child, lest I die. Where is the death coming from? This Satan that we're talking about, which is just her being idle, her being promiscuous, her tiptoeing from house to house, her being a busybody, her having no type of vision, her that can't be guided, molded, her that has no virtue. That's the Satan, or those things in the form, or Satan in the form of those things. Right? You got to see how I ain't making it up. You got to see how this thing is falling in place. It's crazy. It's crazy. Right? Next point. Damn, we got 15 minutes. The well-being of her children and her husband is prioritized over her own well-being. And that's kind of like a trick point. You know why? Because most women that I know that operate in this mind, when their husband is taken care of and their children, their well-being is also like taken care of. They're always in a well state of mind, right? You got a lot of women that, I ain't gonna eat because my kids gotta eat. I ain't got no shoes, but my kids got shoes. And I'm happy that they eat and got shoes.
Yeah.
Right? I kind of grew up like that a little bit with moms. Like, moms didn't really have a lot, but she was happy when we had stuff. She made sure we ate. That was her well-being, to make sure that her children were taken care of. That's old school grandmama and them. Big mama and them. Big mama go without shoes, clothes. All she wanted was a new apron, right, to cook with. Some good dish soap. That's all she cared about. Throw her hair in 2 braids and just be just humming around the house.
Oh yeah.
Just humming, just dusting things and cleaning stuff. Be like, man, grandma, you always cleaning. Gotta keep a good house. Gotta keep a good house. I used to hear that from my grandma all the time. I gotta keep a good house. My grandma's house was never dirty. It was never smelly. I remember one time when I was a kid, I tried to pee in the tub. Bruh. I tried to pee in the shower and she got on my helmet. And this is in Jamaica. We ain't had no lights in the bathroom. Like, how did she know? Because grandma knows when there's a smell that don't belong. I will never forget that. That's why I don't pee in the shower. She called me out on that when I was a kid, right? But her attentiveness to every detail of that house, everything was in a place. And you know, at that time, grandma, man, she died at 80. Grandma was in her 50s at that time. Just moving around the house, cooking breakfast, making tea, cooking dinner. Got dinner started by 12. Grandpa come home, plate hot, steaming. Dumpling, corned beef, white rice, cabbage, chicken, bro. But that's where I learned about, like, that's where I really understood about, like, I saw my grandmas. I had 2 grandmas that I lived with. So I watched them operate. And I'm like, yo, this is crazy. I never went without a meal, like a cooked meal. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner was a cooked thing. It was cooked. It wasn't no sandwich.
Wasn't no microwave.
It wasn't no microwave. It was a cooked food, prepared with hands. Chicken clean. Kitchen clean. Like, I'm like, whoa, this is crazy. Always sweeping something. Right? But it was a mentality that was built into these women. They weren't never idle.
Yeah.
It didn't matter what grandpa was doing. I mean, she knew what grandpa was doing. He was over there having children outside of the wedlock. But guess what? She still kept that house clean. You wasn't gonna come to her house and catch her off guard. None of them. You ain't gonna come catch my house dirty. It was an embarrassment. It was an embarrassment, totally. I mean, come on. Hell nah. You bring company up in that house and that house wasn't clipped, man, listen. You both was getting kicked out. But see, the minds ain't like that no more. Now it's, what Kazakh say, it's all willy-nilly, right? It's all willy-nilly now, man. Oh, I'll get to that later. I know it smells bad in here and the trash is overflowing and, I'm just so busy with my things. I'll wait for somebody else to get like, yo, that can't be the mind. Because it promotes a whole nother spirit. Because then there won't be a well-being in the house. You come in, it smells weird, it smells bad, everything just thrown around. But see, that's what happens when ambition, career, this and that get in the way of the duty. Right? 1 Samuel 1:8. Let's read it. 1 Samuel 1:8. Let's try to get through some of this. So you're going to read 1 Samuel 1:8. Yeah, read that.
1 Samuel 1 verse 8.
Right?
Then said Elkanah, her husband, to her,
Right?
Hannah, why weepest thou?
Right?
And why eatest thou not?
Uh-huh.
And why is thy heart grieved? Am not I better to thee than 10 sons?
Right, so we know the story. Hannah, what's her name? Hananiah. Hannah, she wanted to have a baby. She couldn't. They're at the feast. She's weeping. She's mourning. She goes. She sets up some prayers because she wants to have this son. But she makes this very, very strong vow, right? And she puts herself, basically, she could have made herself a hypocrite or not. She puts herself in the crosshairs of the Most High. due to what she wanted, right? Due to her own lust, which wasn't a bad thing. Again, this was her trying to respect the duty and the calling that the Most High put in her, right? Jump down to verse 11.
Verse 11. And she vowed a vow and said, O Lord of hosts,
Right,
if thou wilt indeed look on the affliction of thine handmaid,
right,
and remember me, and not forget thine handmaid,
right.
but will give unto thy handmaid a man child,
Come on.
then I will give him unto the Lord all the days of his life, and there shall no razor come upon his head.
Jump to verse 21.
Verse 21.
So think about it. She was just happy with just having a child, a man child, right? She was just happy with having this child. Let me bring forth for my husband, for the Most High. Let me have this child. And she was happy in that. Read verse 21.
Verse 21. And the man Elkanah and all his house went up to offer unto the Lord
Right,
the yearly sacrifice
right.
and his vow.
Mm-hmm.
But Hannah went not up, for she said unto her husband, I will not go up until the child be weaned.
Right, so usually the weaning, getting off the breast, anywhere from about 3 to 5 years old in our custom. Right, when you do that research, anywhere from 3 to 5 years old was the weaning process. Right, just depends on the child, depends on the situation. But to the naked eye, it's like, oh, this chick just making excuses. She's just trying to hold on to the baby. Right? I remember when I first read it, the first time I read this, I'm like, oh no, this chick is trying to keep the child. Let's just read on. Go ahead.
And then I will bring him, that he may appear before the Lord, and there abide forever.
But her husband trusted in that and said, you know what? Read.
And Elkanah her husband said unto her, do what seemeth thee good.
Do what seemeth thee good. Come on.
Tarry until thou have weaned him. Only the Lord establish his word.
Because he's going to establish his word off of your word. So why am I going here? Well, because just think about it. Her whole well-being was predicated on having this child. But then knowing that to do the thing that she vowed to please the Lord, she would be vindicated. She would be rewarded. So her well-being wasn't predicated on a child, so to speak, but really in serving the Most High. You see that? Having the child was just the icing. Read.
So the woman abode and gave her son suck until she weaned him. And when she had weaned him, she took him up with her with 3 bullocks and 1 ephah of flour,
right,
and a bottle of wine, and brought him unto the house of the Lord in Shiloh. And the child was young. And they slew a bullock and brought the child to Eli.
Read to verse 28. Go ahead.
Verse 26. And she said, O my Lord, as thy soul liveth, my Lord, I am the woman that stood by thee here, praying unto the Lord. For this child I prayed,
right,
and the Lord had given me my petition, which I asked of him. Therefore, also I have lent him to the Lord.
See her mentality? Her mentality wasn't that she was losing something. Her mentality was that, look, I got a chance to raise him to an age, and now I'm going to be able to give him to the Lord, but he ain't gone forever. Read on.
As long as he liveth, he shall be led to the Lord, and he worshiped the Lord there.
Another key thing, another key takeaway is that her husband, he agreed to the vow. She didn't come back 5 years later like, why'd you let me agree to that? Why didn't you stop it? See, it's your fault. Because that wouldn't have been promoting a well-being of the house. Right? From there, go to 1 Samuel's. Write down 1 Samuel 2:18 through, slide. Yeah, write down 1 Samuel 2:18 to 21. It just basically says the same thing. Go to Psalms 113 and 9. Somebody else help him read.
Okay.
Psalms 113:9, 2 Ezra 2:15. Read it.
For the Psalms chapter 113 and verse 9.
Come on.
He maketh the barren woman to keep house.
Come on.
And to be a joyful mother.
And to be a what?
A joyful mother.
A resentful mother?
A joyful mother.
You look just like your damn daddy.
Oh,
A
man.
joyful mother.
Yeah, see, it was about promoting the joy. Joyful mother because you got a child. The barren women were the ones going on. But look at her now. As soon as she had the baby, that petition was granted, bro. She was happy. She took it with joy. And that's how the sisters got to operate when it comes to the upbringing of your children. You shouldn't be so quick to want to pawn them off on somebody else, get rid of them, can't wait to leave, can't wait to, kick them out the house, whatever it is, whatever mind you're in. If it's not a mind of joy that, man, Most High done blessed me with all these seeds, it says children are a blessing from the Lord. But why aren't you feeling like that? Why aren't you feeling like that? Why are you feeling agitated? Why are you angry that you got them? Well, you know why? Because you look at them as the means of disrupting the whack life that you should have never had anyway, right? You thought you was going to do something else with life, and the Most High put you on a different path. Look at the children as the saving grace that you needed. They're the ones that's keeping you in that damn house with some responsibility. Don't look at it negative. Don't look at it negative. Take some joy. Take some pride, like the scriptures say. Bring them up with joy. And don't make them feel like they were an afterthought or an accident or just something that happened when you and your husband got drunk one night. So, Mom, Dad, how did I get here? Bro, you don't even want to know. Just, bruh.
You ruined my life.
You ruined my life. Yeah, you move around like the kids is ruining your life. What life did you have? When the Most High said he chose the base things of this world, you were base as hell and trash, nasty garbage and doo-doo. We all were. But he put you on a path now to do something honorable, which is raise up honorable children. But when you raise them with that type spirit, I mean, what do they become? They start to resent you. And then you can't get them in order. You can't discipline them. You can't talk. Wait till your daddy get home. That's the only thing they move towards. But when you talk, they just, they laughing in your face. Nah, 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 nah. They doing the nana nana to you. And it's like, what the hell? Damn. Nana nana, it's crazy. And then when dad get home, as soon as he turned the lock, everybody tighten up.
Reporting.
Right. They like, watch him. Sir, yes, sir. Right. They on horse stands like Max. They just automatically line up in horse stands. They automatic push-up position 2. And you walk in like, wait, what's going on? Right? Daddy's home. Everybody start fumbling. Just do it when you get home, fathers. Just put the key in the door and just listen. You just start hearing people cleaning and this and rattling. I'm like, oh man, come on, y'all capping. Right? Where's your joy, sisters? Where's your resiliency? Where's your sense of purpose? It ain't just to knock them out your womb and drop them off, right? And drop them into the world, but now you got to take care of them. But you got to do it with joy. You got to put joy in their life. Go ahead. Praise ye the Lord. Second Ezra 2:15.
2 Ezra, chapter 2, verse 15.
Come on.
Mother, embrace thy children.
Do what?
Embrace thy children.
I always give my children hugs. Okay, that's not what it's talking about. It's a different embrace. There's a spiritual embrace that a mother is supposed to do for her children. Right? Like me, I'll be honest. I don't have like the relationship with my mom. It's like we have a relationship. We talk, we text, we do this, we do that. I love her, she loves me. But I don't have like that connection with my mom. I never really did. I didn't grow up with her like that.
Yeah.
Right? So we never had that, like, I'm a mama's boy, and like I just didn't have that. sorry, I just didn't, right? And I don't really feel that. Do I love my mama? Oh yeah, it's my mom. Do she look out for me? I look out for her? Of course. Right? But I can feel that lack of connection that we have. Right?
Yeah.
Where it just wasn't nurtured due to circumstance. Again, I didn't grow up with my mom. The first 6 years of my life, I didn't grow up with my mom. You see what I'm saying? So that's a detrimental stage where, bro, I feel more for my grandparents because that's where I was at. So think about a young child's attachment at an early age. What are they attached to? Whoever's there to raise them, whoever's cooking them meals, teaching them how to use the bathroom, potty training, all that stuff. That was my grandma, right? That was my grandparents. It wasn't my mom, it wasn't my dad. So like the connection to them ain't really there like you would think it should be. So what does it say it again? Read it.
Embrace thy
You don't
children.
want to be dealing on a spiritual level, especially if we're supposed to be in the spirit, especially if you're supposed to be trying to impart this wisdom onto them. You better connect up. You better get in a spirit of connecting with your children and embracing them through wisdom and bringing them close to you through experience. Go ahead.
And bring them up.
Especially you mothers, man. Y'all got so much wisdom and experience to teach your daughters. And it just fly down the same path you went. And they end up building up all the same regrets you built up. All the same baggage you accumulated. Embrace your daughters. Embrace your sons. Go ahead.
And bring them up.
And do what?
And bring them up.
Come on.
With gladness.
Resent them.
Gladness.
Wish they weren't around.
Gladness.
They just here for taxes.
Gladness.
Damn. You just a beneficiary. You just a tax baby. Yeah, we had you because
We needed some
we
taxes.
needed some tax money. Like, what? Damn. You got parents that do that. And they only, that's my son, that's my daughter when it's tax time. Right? But any other time after that, it's like, man, you can go to the wayside. I don't care about you. I ain't worried about you. It says embrace them and raise them in gladness. Come on.
Make their feet as fast as a pillar.
Do what?
Make their feet as fast as a pillar.
It's talking about grounding them and rooting them in something. Teach, it's right here showing us, you got to teach them. Go all the way down to that Maccabees for me. Somebody go back to that second Maccabees. That's that Maccabees 7, first Maccabees. You got to teach them. Go all the way down, all the way down, all the way down. Right? Go to the part, all the way down. Right here. Go to the point. It's first Maccabees, right?
Second.
Oh, it's second Maccabees.
7.
Go to 7 and 27.
Okay. Look at 2 Maccabees chapter 7, verse
Just
27.
kind of sprinkling this story, and you can always read it. Read.
But she, bowing herself toward him,
Right?
laughing the cruel tyrant to scorn.
Right. So this is when her sixth son was about to be put to death. She laughing at Antiochus. Go ahead.
Spake in her country language.
She did what?
Spake in her country language.
No. She spake in a heathenistic language.
In her country language.
No. She spoke in some other language that she taught her son because she wasn't studious.
In her country language.
She taught her son the language. She wasn't like, oh yeah, you're gonna learn Grecian. Well, everybody, in Greece do as the Grecians do. She sat down and taught him the country's language, man.
Yeah.
Read.
On this manner.
Mm-hmm.
O my son,
Mm-hmm.
have pity upon me
Mm-hmm.
that bare thee 9 months
Come on.
in my womb, and gave thee suck 3 years,
Right.
and nourished thee,
And did what?
and nourished thee,
Come on.
and brought thee up unto this age.
Wait, what age? They weren't little boys. They weren't little boys like, oh, they 7 years old getting toward. These were grown ass men, dog. These were grown men. Go ahead. Just like Isaac was a grown man under Abraham, right? Just like Jacob was a grown man under Laban and under the tutelage of his father. Remember, Jacob didn't dip out from his father until what? They were about 40 years old. Just go read the story. Esau got married at 40, right when Jacob left. They were 40 years old. Isaac got married at 40 years old. They stood under a tutelage for a time. You weren't just a man because you hit 20. 12. Oh, I'm a man now, 'cause I got a little hair on my genitals. Nah, bruh, there was a lot more to being a man than just hairy armpits. Right? There was a lot more to it. And we didn't just dip off because we could. The prodigal son did that. He was unwise. He was unwise, and he had to come back and do what? Do it again. Apologize and do it again. Don't make a prodigal son or a prodigal daughter. Embrace them. Teach them. Go ahead.
And endured the troubles of education.
See that? It's a trouble to educate your children. Why? Because it takes a high level of patience. It takes a high level of discipline. You did it, right? Right. Was it easy? Right. And I seen she had a whole curriculum set up. I'm like, damn, let me get a printout. You know what I'm saying? Like, she had a whole curriculum set up, man, for her kids. But I know it wasn't easy just because you had a printout and this. It was about giving them, showing them the importance of why they got to do this. It was about getting their minds to be able to do it without having a bunch of other kids around. It was all these different factors that she had to weed out, make it interesting, make it fun, make it a little bit of entertainment. I'm sure you have to go through many different curves yourself, learning to educate them. Right? What's that? Oh, you do it too. Yeah, y'all do it.
Each child
Here we go.
differently. And I cannot teach Aslan. I cannot teach Ezekiel the way I teach Aslan.
Right.
Or vice versa. And even like certain things with Aslan, she dries dishes.
Right.
But with that, her learning that, I had to be there with her. I couldn't just be like,
go dry the
I
dishes.
showed you and then go.
Right.
I make sure that I am there with her. It's me and her moment. I'm with her. I'm drying. I have my rag. I'm like, okay, you dry the small ones. I'm gonna dry the big dishes.
That's how you do it.
And I'm just seeing that is she wants to do it. It helps her to want to do these things, and then certain things like the kids, it's
Pause real quick. Why does she want to do it?
because I'm there with her. I'm not demanding her. I'm showing her that it's
You're there with her. How?
teaching her. But
How
she
though?
doing it.
In what spirit? Is it a spirit of I hate this nigga because he don't do no dishes? Or is it I'm happy to do the dishes and take care of my home? What does she see from you? And that's what y'all gotta realize is that what do your children see from you? Like, y'all was in the house today, and Manashal was sitting on the couch. Oh, he capped on Shatat. It was hard too. Manashal got this little toy that he blows as a horn, and he blew it, and nothing came out. He said, "Why is it not working like Shatak?" I was like, oh, he capped on this dude's Ram's horn blowing skills. He said that. He said, because they be in Sabbath class. He's like, how come it's not working like Shatak's Ram's horn? No, that's what he said. Chill. No, chill. Hold on. He said, why is it?
It wasn't working, but mine's work.
No, he said, why is it not working like Shatak's Ram's horn?
Like Shatak's work.
No, meaning like how his don't work. I promise you.
The wrong way.
Nah, bro. I know how I took it. So the next point, so he capped on his Ram's horn blowing, but what is he watching? He's sitting in Sabbath class watching the Ram's horn. He knows how it's supposed to sound. He's like, wait, nothing came out like how Shatak's, nothing comes out.
No, how come it
Or
didn't work like
McGunn's,
Shatak's?
nothing comes out. Right? So then now he's sitting. So then now he's sitting on the couch, and he's like, thou shalt not watch the TV. Like he's just going, and I'm like, oh wow. And I'm sitting there cooking their food, and the warrior, she's doing her thing, and he's just preaching to the air. He's just preaching to the air, like, and thou shalt not do this. La, con. And I'm like, what the hell? Right? But this is the thing. They see the joy in what we do because we're not living our life in grief because we're Hebrew Israelites and we can't go run the damn streets. They see the attentiveness that we take to go. They see I'm going to class. They already know when I'm going to class. They start seeing me get dressed at a certain time. He's like, Dad, you going to class? And I go. And I'm like, bro, it's too late. And then he just starts to pout and get mad. And I'm like, bro, next time. which the next time it's gonna be Saturday. I ain't got time to watch you, right? But they know the routine. He know that is today Monday? Yeah. Oh, so we going to class? I gotta go to class. Today's Wednesday. Like he knows Monday. He don't know no days of the week, but Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday. That's it. That's all he asks about. Why? Because they watch and they see what we're doing and they see our joy or they see our disdain. If you're disdainful for something, if you're disdainful for your husband, if you loathe your husband, like it says in Ezekiel, your daughter will loathe her daddy. If you loathe being the woman of the house and building your house, your daughter is gonna be like, I don't want no parts of that. My mama was a slave. He just kept her pregnant and barefoot. That's it. That's all you're gonna have. If you hate serving the Most High as a man, and then your sons can see that, they're gonna be like, I don't want to be an Israelite no more. I'm trying to go do something else in the world. I'm bored. I want to go do something else.
Yeah.
That's what they're gonna do because they're looking at us.
Yeah.
So you gotta do the thing with joy, with gladness. And stop trying to fake it till you make it, because that ain't, they're gonna see right through it, man. Spirit recognize spirit, right? You gotta have a real genuine love for what it is you're doing, whether it's a wife and her duties or a husband and his duty. You gotta love what you're doing. You gotta love where the Most High got you, because if not, your replacements, the ones that are looking up at you, crying in the closet, weeping, lip trembling, because your husband had you take out the trash, or because you got to come to class and read, they're gonna be like, well, I don't want to do that. Where's their motivation gonna come from? Right? Read where you at.
Look at 2 Maccabees chapter 7, verse 28.
Go ahead.
I beseech thee, my son, look upon the heaven
Right.
and the earth.
That's it on that. So the painstaking efforts in education, right? So what's another point, real quick? Let's try to get through some more of this. I'm not trying to do a part 3. Oh, we almost done. Yeah. We almost done. Watch, I'll be done here real short. So the well-being of her husband and children is prioritized over her own. The protection of her husband, physically and mentally. That's number one in a wife. That's number one. Is her husband. Even though a woman can't go out there and literally fight a man's battle and protect him, she'll try. A good one. That nigga will try to suit up and go to war with you. And you got to tell her, nah, babe, we good. Good. Just fall on back. You can't deal with this. I got it. But a good one is gonna suit up with you. Who did it? But that's what the Bible says she was gonna do anyway, right? Let's go. 1 Samuel 25 and 14 real quick. Let's see if what I'm saying is true. 1 Samuel 25, 14.
1 Samuel chapter 25, verse 14.
Yep.
But one of the young men told Abigail, Nabal's wife,
right,
saying, behold, David sent messengers out of the wilderness to salute our master, and he railed on them.
Right, so David is sitting on the outskirts of Nabal's property. They watching for thieves. They on the run. They send to Nabal, hey, we've kind of been protecting your property. You mind hooking us up with a little food? Favor for a favor. I don't know y'all niggas. I didn't tell y'all to watch my property. I'm straight disrespect to the king, bruh. Who is David that I should serve him? Right? So David is like, wait, this old peasant, disrespectful Negro. We about to go and just kill him. We're gonna kill everything that piss on the wall. That's what it says. We're gonna just wipe out all the males. Right? But look at what Abigail does when she hears this. Now remember, she's married to this dumb Negro. This is her husband. What is she calculating? That this is her husband and she got a duty. No matter what his character is, this is her husband. She got a duty. So what does she do? Go ahead, read. Verse 15. Go ahead.
Verse 15. But the men were very good unto us.
Right.
And we were not hurt. Neither missed we anything, as long as we were conversant with them when we were in the field.
Right. So this is the servant coming back and telling Abigail how David dealt with them. They didn't steal from us, they didn't kill us, they didn't beat us up, they had the power over us. They didn't exercise it. They were good men. Go ahead.
Verse 16. They were a wall unto us.
They were a what?
A wall unto us.
They protected us. These are the sheep shearers, actually. It's like, look, they protected us with the sheep day and night. Come on.
Both by night and day.
Uh-huh.
And all the while we were with them, keeping the sheep.
Because when you out there herding them sheep, it's dangerous. And when you in the wilderness, it's all types of bandits and robbers and wolves and animals. So David and his men, they were just that protection. Go ahead.
Verse 17. Now therefore, know and consider what thou wilt do, for evil is determined against our master.
Right.
And against all his household.
The household that she helped build. Come on.
For he is such a son of
Belial.
Belial.
This nigga is a damn heathen. He acting like a heathen. Yeah. But guess what? It didn't stop the fact that this was her husband. She made a vow. She made a covenant to this man. Go ahead.
That a man cannot speak to him.
Go ahead.
Then Abigail made haste.
Right.
And took 200 loaves.
No. Surely she was like, yeah, let's kill him. He whacked.
And took 200 loaves.
So she made haste. 200 loaves. What else?
And 2 bottles of wine.
Got some wine. Go ahead. What
and
else?
5 sheep ready dressed. And 5 measures of parched corn.
Uh-huh.
And 100 clusters of raisins. And 200 cakes of figs. And laid them on asses.
Jump down to verse 23.
Verse 23. And when Abigail saw David, she hasted and lighted off the ass, and fell before David on her face, and bowed herself to the ground.
Come on.
And fell at his feet.
Right.
And said, upon me, my Lord, upon me let this iniquity be.
No. Go kill him. He's wicked.
Upon me let this iniquity be, and let thy handmaid.
No. David, you so handsome, and I don't want to be with him. No way. Your law says if you kill him, I can be with you. Trying to show y'all something here. That her mind, it didn't matter what David was on. It didn't even matter what Nabal was on. Her mind was on what she was supposed to be on. She even told David, his iniquity, put it on me. That's a cold sister. That's a cold. She said, look, he's a fool. Watch, read.
Verse 24. And fell at his feet and said, upon me, my Lord, upon me let this iniquity be, and let thy handmaid, I pray thee, speak in thy audience, and hear the words of thy handmaid.
Ecclesiasticus 26:13. Ecclesiasticus 26 and verse 13.
Ecclesiasticus chapter 26, verse 13.
Right.
The grace of a wife delighteth her husband.
Come on.
And her discretion will fatten his bow.
Jump to verse 22.
Verse 22. And harlot shall be accounted as spittle.
Come on.
But a married woman is a tower against death to her husband.
Yeah, if she was a harlot, she would have just been like, look, let me just go with you. She was trying to preserve her husband, even though he was in the wrong. Now, was it wicked for her to do that? No. Because all she did was just come with wisdom to David and say, hey, look, this dude's a fool. Answer not a fool according to his folly. Let the Lord avenge him. Straightforward like that. And he recognized it and said, you know what? Thank you for your advice. That's what he said to her. And she saved her husband for that time. He still died. And then she still got with David. Not that she was intending to, right? But she free. I'm sure David was like, damn, woman, wisdom and beauty. And he got a handmaiden. David got, like, I think like at that time, what was it? 5 women came and he took 2. Damn. Yeah. They said he took her to wife and her handmaid to wife. Yeah. It wasn't playing, bro. He's in them streets. Right? So you see that.
Let them come hither.
Come hither. Right? So y'all see that, right? I got one more point and then we can end it. Promote the promotion of peace and rest in the household. Or peace and rest to her husband. Because that's initially what the woman was created for, was to be a peace of mind and a rest. Go to Proverbs 31 and verse 10 real quick. Go ahead.
Proverbs chapter 31, verse 10.
Somebody else get Tobit 8 and 6. Read.
Who can find a virtuous woman?
Come on.
For her price is far above rubies.
Right.
The heart of her husband
Right.
does safely trust in her.
His heart is wearied with where she's at.
Safely trust in her.
Man, I know she out there cheating on me, dog. You know, I don't know, man. You know, I smell Versace arrows on her neck. She wear Gucci Guilty for women, but I smell Versace arrows, and I don't wear no arrows. Where's his mind?
Safely trust in her.
Yeah, his mind. This is one way a woman can promote peace and rest, is that when a man can safely trust in you. But how is that accomplished? By what means? By what means is the trust and the peace, or the safely trust in you? How is that accomplished? How do we get there? Go to Ecclesiastes 26. I'll show you how we get there. Oh man. Go to the 1:16. Go to verse 14, 26. This is how the trust is accomplished, believe it or not. This is how I know if I can trust you. Go ahead.
Ecclesiastes chapter 26, verse 14.
Right?
A silent and loving woman is a gift of the Lord.
Come on.
And there is nothing so much worth as a mind well instructed.
This is how I know if I can trust you, if I can instruct you. If I can teach you and you hold to the teachings and then you do it. This is how I know if I can trust you or not. This is how a man knows if he can trust a woman. She gonna follow what I'm saying? Or she gonna follow when I'm looking, and when I ain't looking, she gonna talk again? Yeah, I'll be quiet, but then when he ain't looking, I'll be saying something. Right? When he ain't looking, I do my own thing. When he ain't riding my back, I'm doing what I want. Right? Yeah, you gotta ask yourself, do you fit the bill? Does your husband safely trust in you? Like, hey babe, I gotta run to the store, and all of a sudden he ain't thinking like, store? But you already you just went to the store yesterday. What you got going on? And then your store trips be, well, I went to the store, then I went and did this, and I went and did that. And I'm not talking about trust like, oh, cheating necessarily, or adultery necessarily. I'm saying in a way of trust that you'll communicate a matter effectively. Hey babe, I need to run to the store to grab such, such, and such. I was thinking about after hitting the store, sliding over to this spot, and then ending it with this right here. Give me about an hour or two. Come on. 5 hours later. 5 hours later, you went to Kroger for a gallon of milk. 5 hours later. Oh well, yeah, you know I have to stop over here. And why you didn't just say something? Now you gotta be worried about 5 hours later where you at. I'm hitting you up, the phone going to whatever. Damn. Right? It's like all, you know what it is? Because you know what it's showing? It's a transparency that you women are taught not to have with your man. You're taught not to not be transparent. To keep him guessing, sis. Don't tell him where you at. Don't share. You ain't gotta share your location. What? I'm not saying share your location. I'm saying communicate with me. I'm saying talk to me and let me know what's going on. That way it's not a guessing game of where the hell you at or what you're doing or who you're doing it with. But why is a lot of that stuff not transparent? Because you know damn well the stuff you want to do is off as hell, and you ain't gonna tell him because he's gonna rebuke it. You gotta come about that. You gotta come about that and just say, hey, this is what I was thinking about doing. Is it a good idea? Yeah, but don't do it like that. Do it like this. Or nah, ain't a good idea. Or hey, you ain't gotta go do that. I just did it. Hey man, I'm about to go grab a gallon of milk. Hey, I just went to the store earlier today. Oh really? I didn't see that. Yeah, cool. Saved you a trip. But a lot of the times, man, your husband don't trust you with anything. That's why you don't get a say, because you've proven yourself untrustworthy. through many quarrels and disagreements. A lot of y'all be disagreeable for no damn reason. You think that's the way to get attention. You know what? He hasn't shown me a lot of attention this week because he's been busy being a priest. He's been teaching class. He's been dealing with the kids all day. He's been on councils. His phone don't stop ringing. His text don't stop texting. He got to go to the school to do this, paint walls. He got to cut oils. He got to do this. He got to do that. You know what? I'm not getting no attention. Let me argue. Let me just argue about something fictitious. But then it just shows like, yo, I don't trust you. I don't trust you with me and my mentality. If you see all the things I'm doing and then you want to just be disagreeable just for the hell of it, how can I trust you with my safeguard? My mind is not going to be in a trusting manner. Y'all get what I'm saying? Sisters, do y'all understand? Like, we're looking to trust y'all. But you have to show yourself trustworthy. You can't want something and not prove that you can handle it. Why you don't be talking to me? Because you can't handle it. Because as soon as I say something you don't like, it's an argument. Because as soon as I disagree with you or correct you, you shut down, face get all small, head go down, your whole posture changes. You turn to that puppy that's getting whooped. It's like, yo, we're just talking. So now I see, I can't trust you with certain conversations. Okay. So we just won't have those conversations. And then you're like, well, I want to be trusted. Well, show yourself trustworthy. It starts with being able to be guided. It starts with silent and loving. Before you can be rebuttal and hateful, try being silent and loving for a moment. That means what? You got to be conscious of your mind and what you're doing. That means that when he says something, you got to step back for a moment, step out of yourself and say, what's he really saying? Okay. That's what you mean. Oh, okay. You know what? I'm listening. I'm taking it in. I'm processing. Come, babe. You know what? I thought about that. You're right. Or you know what? I thought about that, but I don't understand. Okay, well, let me break it down a different one. It's a way to go about it. Right? It's a way you got to go about it. But try the silent and loving thing first before you be rebuttal and hateful. Right? Try to be led first, especially if you don't have the experience. You know, the one thing I do, and I hate that I gotta remind people that I do this, but anything that I do, before I do anything, what's the first thing that I do? Okay, yeah, but before I do something, what's the thing that I do? What I do a lot of. Shaddad, what is it that I do before I do something? Y'all don't know me. What?
Research.
Damn! See, that brother knows me. Know those that labor amongst you.
Oh,
Yo,
you like that.
I go into like a heavy research mode where I'm looking for the pros, the cons, the ins, the outs, the do's, the don'ts. I'm literally looking for why to not do something. Looking at all the reasons why to do it, but I'm looking why not to do it. So I do a lot of research on a lot of things that I speak about or that I try to implement in my life before I implement, so I research heavily, right? So a lot of times when I'm coming with something, it's not because I'm just flying off the handle, trying to just willy-nilly something. It's like, yo, I just looked into this thing. So I'll talk as one with authority on something because after 6 months of just like researching how to do compost, I literally sat back for 6 months and researched compost for 6 months before I tried it. Still failed. Now, I feel like I'm a compost king. I can make many composts. I feel like I'm just that good. His compost is immaculate, right? He makes good compost. But I feel like I'm the compost king. I can make compost in 18 days. Took him 6 months. But it's only because he has a different composting style. He does cold compost. I do hot compost and cold compost. But I researched all the different ins and outs, and so now I'm comfortable, right? But it sucks when you got to remind a person who you are and how you got to remind a person your process. Babe, I'm telling you this. Why? Because I researched it. Because I looked into it. Because I researched it. Because I looked at it. What are you going off of? Oh, old experiences? Well, guess what? I'm researching with new experience. That's what I do. I'm a teacher. I'm a researcher. It's part of being a teacher. You research heavily. But it sucks when you gotta, for a man to remind a woman that he's a man. That's terrible when he has to remind you, hey, remember me, the guy, right? The man with a little bit of wisdom in the Bible, and God likes him.
Knows what he's talking about.
Right? He's proven to know some things about some things, and he ain't steered you wrong yet. He ain't put you in a bad situation. You ain't never had your lights cut off, water cut off, like you barely go without the necessities. Remember that guy? He helps, he does things, he loves his children, he feeds them, he cooks for them, does dishes, he mops, he cleans, he does all those things. Remember him? You ain't gotta argue with him. He just wants peace. He just wants to help. If y'all look, sisters, at your husband and look at his intention, is he trying to break you or is he trying to destroy you? And then look at your intention. What are you trying to do? Are you promoting the peace or are you breaking his peace? Verse 15.
Verse 15. A shamefaced and faithful woman is a double grace. And her continent mind.
A mind that can be instructed, a mind of restraint. She's restrained from rebuttaling. She's restrained from going back and forth, arguing. Not because you're in a cult, not because I'm a man, not because any of that, because it's in her. She's able to assess what is needed and what's not. She's looking and saying, wait, this ain't promoting the thing in my house that I'm looking for. Let me restrain myself from the passion of wanting to argue and fight and be right, even though I'm wrong. Go ahead.
And her continent mind cannot be valued.
And that's the value. That's what a man wants to trust in, a mind that can be guided. Right? Go to Tobit 8 and 6. Ecclesiastes 36:24. Right, read.
Tobit chapter 8, verse 6.
Right.
Thou madest Adam.
Right.
And gavest him Eve, his wife, for a helper.
For a what?
For an helper.
Right. So if she's the helper, that means that Adam needed to be helped. That means that he was already doing something. So the helper comes in and says, hey, what do you need help with? Well, I need you to do this. Well, I want to argue about what you need help with. Or I'm going to just do the thing you need help with. Which one? Which one are you? Hey, babe, I need you to do this. Wow, I always got to do that. That ain't no fun. You always get to have the fun. You always go that. You always. I just need help with this. Well, do it yourself. I want to do this other part. Or, come, babe, I got you. Which one? Read.
For a helper and stay.
What is a stay? You know what it means to stay? Just that. Stay. A consistent thing in his life. Not we arguing and I'm moving out. We arguing and guess what? I'm about to go to my mama's house. We arguing and guess what? You got to get out. We argue, I don't know about this Israelite life no more. No, it said that a stay, when you look up the word, it's a constant. Right? It's a constant. That's why when you go to, God damn, go to verse 18. Ugh.
Verse 18.
Right?
Then,
verse 18. Oh no, Salakia. Where you at?
Ecclesiastes chapter 36 and verse 20.
Read verse 18.
Verse 18. Belly.
No, I'm sorry. Somebody get me Ecclesiastes 26 and verse 18. I'm sorry. Read it.
Ecclesiastes chapter 26 and verse 18.
Lift your voice.
Ecclesiastes chapter 26 and verse 18.
Come on.
As the golden pillars are upon the stalkers of silver.
Right? That's talking about how the temple was set up. Go ahead.
So are the fair feet with a constant heart.
See that? It's talking about a woman in her house. Her beauty is like the temple of the Most High. Her feet are fair, but her heart is consistent. It's constant. Her heart is constantly in her house, in the temple of the Lord, in the ordering of things. A helper and a stay. Not just a here today, gone tomorrow type mentality. I'm just here for the moment. I'm just here, you know, hey, when something else arises, we'll see. They say a man is only as faithful as his options.
Ooh.
Mm.
Ooh.
Right?
Wow.
And in the world, they say a woman ain't faithful to nothing that's lower than her in her esteem. She's always looking for the next best thing. We gotta fight that. You gotta work on being that constant in his life. Constant what? Arguing, fighting, or the constant peace and rest that Adam was made for. Read on, a helper and a stay. Go ahead.
He was looking for.
Of them came mankind.
Right, go ahead.
Thou hast said,
Right,
it is not good that man should be alone.
right.
Let us make unto him an aid like unto himself.
Are you like unto your husband? Sisters, women, are you like unto your father? Are you like unto the righteous man in your life? It's a good question. I think it's a good question. I think it's a dynamic question. Because now you got to sit back and think, like, am I? And if not, then why? What's in me that's stopping me from attaining to the righteous man in my life? Whether it be my father, whether it be my husband, whether it be the brothers around me, why am I not attaining to their level? Why am I not like unto them? Ecclesiastes 36:24.
Ecclesiastes chapter 36, verse 24.
Come on.
He that getteth a wife begetteth a possession,
Right?
a help like unto himself.
A what?
Help like unto himself.
And it keeps saying it. 2 or 3 witnesses, it keeps saying the same thing. So you got to ask yourself the question, well, a help like unto himself. Am I a help to my husband as good as he would be to himself? Yeah, good question. Am I going to fight for his rest like he's going to fight, like he's fighting for it? Am I fighting for the peace like he's fighting for it? Or am I promoting the division? Which leads to the next point. 2 more scriptures. Right? So the promotion, or you can write down her unified mind is a healing mechanism to those around her. Her unified mind is a healing mechanism to those around her. Ecclesiastes 25. Well, let me read this real quick. She realizes that her true strength is to be in line with her husband in righteousness. Her true strength, she realizes that her true strength, it's a realization that you have to come to. What happened, Corey?
Oh, no, we just.
I was ready.
Oh, yeah, okay. Oh, y'all ready to judge? Somebody, well, look, Ecclesiastes 25:1. Somebody else get me Psalms 133. Read Ecclesiastes 25:1.
This book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 25 and verse 1.
Mm-hmm.
In 3 things I was beautified, and stood up beautiful before God and men.
Come on.
The unity of brethren,
Right.
the love of neighbors,
Mm-hmm.
a man and wife that agree together.
Right, because do we agree that you're going to be a help like unto me, to myself? And that only just means that what? You agree to do your part in the relationship,
Yeah.
and I agree to do my part in the relationship. Even, father and daughter. Well, do you agree to be a wholesome, young, shamefaced daughter, and I be the guide of your youth? Or do you want to be something else? You see what I'm saying? Like, this scripture can be used in many different ways, in many different relationship statuses, right? But there has to be an agreement. Why? What are you trying to promote? Well, there's a healing, right? Psalms 133:1.
Psalm chapter 133, verse 1.
Right?
Behold, how good and how pleasant it is for brethren to dwell together in unity.
Right? Read.
It is like the precious ointment upon the head that runs down.
When you look up that word ointment, shaman, how we say shaman zayat, Yasha Allah, anoint Israel,
Yeah.
right? Anoint the head, right? Shaman is ointment, right? It means grease. The meaning is oil. The definition is oil. The meaning is grease, liquid, or richness. when you go into the New Testament and you transliterate the word shaman into Greek, I forget what it is off the top of my head, but the way they use it in the sense of a symbolic way to speak of the Holy Spirit. Why am I bringing that out? Because a woman that's in unity with her husband is promoting the Holy Spirit. You got to think about that. Where 2 and 3 are gathered in my name, there I will be also. So that ointment or that healing is the Spirit coming into that house and literally moving them demons about the way that you don't see. But think about it. If we arguing, if we fighting, if there's contention, if you disagree with everything, if you secretly hate your husband, if you got secret contentions, if you look at him side eyes like that nigga always da-da-da-da-da, the Spirit ain't rocking in that house. You'll try to get it, right? You might get little inklings of it for you to be motivated to fight. But if I'm promoting Spirit and you promoting demon spirit, Satan, what are we gonna have? It's division. It's division, right? I got one more point, and y'all can just write this down. And I want y'all to just think about this, but the last point is she does not weaponize sex. She does not weaponize sex and intimacy. And you know what I mean by that, sisters. And you can write down 1 Corinthians 7 and 1 through 5, where Paul is talking about sex and that you should have due benevolence in your relationship sexually. Yeah. Meaning you ain't supposed to be holding back from him. He's not supposed to hold back from you, whether it be, unless there's consent. Because if not, it's satanic to not have due benevolence. But women are taught to weaponize their sexuality against their men. And yeah, we arguing, we fighting. Now the next thing is you in the doghouse. Like an Israelite doghouse is just crazy work. That is just, that's diabolical, man. For a brother, you hit the brother up, hey, Shalom, why would you? Oh man, she just got me on the couch. Huh? Y'all studying or? No, bro, she kicked me out the room. Like, damn. What? You didn't pull out no Bible?
No.
Right, but women are taught from an early age to weaponize. And we're gonna go, the next class we do, I'm gonna really touch on that weaponized intimacy. Really weaponized intimacy. Because it's different from weaponizing sex. But women are taught to weaponize sex in the way of, I'm not gonna, unless you break to me and bow to me, you ain't getting none. Right? Y'all are taught this early. It's promoted through the airwaves. Or if you won't do this the way this, then you cut, like, nah, it's not a promotion of a healthy relationship. So what are we dealing with? We're dealing with a woman that is promoting the livelihood of her family, the mentality in a righteous family. Gone? I told you I was gonna be nice. I mean, we had fun, we laughed, right? I wouldn't, listen, right?
Yeah.
We friends still? All right, well, you know, there's a part 2. There's a part 2 next Wednesday. All right, so hopefully y'all tune in for that. Yeah. With that, we thank everybody for joining us. Right? Did they have any questions online about anything? I know we went over, but you know, some of these classes just be like, it be like that. Plus, Locker Rob was talking about. It was his announcements. They took forever. Proverbs 31. It's too much for one.
You know this last point that you had. Remember that? Are you the one that sent us that? It was a video of this Edomite dude. He was like, I stand for women. I stand for the black and Hispanic woman because my woman has a boyfriend named so and so, and she put me on the couch, and we need Kamala to win because she ain't giving me none.
I didn't say that, but that's crazy.
Somebody said that.
Yo, Israelite doghouse is just wild work. And I pray that none of you brothers is getting beat up by your ribs, uppercutted, You know,
That's not in the contract.
you Tyson.
Because under the
Yeah,
contract.
you Tyson and she's Jake Paul.
Oh, wow.
And you gotta like hold back on everything, no correction, no nothing, and she just gets to pummel you.
And he had a 58-year-old man hold back.
So, that's all I'm saying, like, remember, just look at the class in a good spirit and just remind yourself, Father loves you, I love you, we're here for each other, right? I'm here for your relationship, I'm here for your husband. He didn't talk to me about anything, this was just a impromptu class that I put together last year. Okay? And I never did it, and so I'm doing it now, that's all it is. Alright? Disclaimer. With that, we're gonna say shalom.
Shalom.
Yeah, we didn't log off.